Chapter 8:20. The moment the door closed, Lin Ji's heart was in his throat. It didn't feel good to have Su-yun's life in someone else's hands, but he had no other choice. The only thing he could do was to ensure that the Immortal Mountain's medical sage Yilan wouldn't be disturbed by anyone. Don't worry, as long as she says there's still hope, even if the whole world thinks that someone will die, they will still come back to life. Wang Longhuang said, that's why many people say that she has the means to bring the dead back to life. Su-yun himself knows that if the three famous doctors of the underground world were to be ranked based on medical skills, Yilan would definitely stand before Wu Qiuzi and Pang Juanda. But I believe in Wu Qiuzi more. Lin Gu let out a long sigh. He leaned against the wall and slowly slid down, finally sitting on the ground outside the door. Before Su-yun woke up, he would definitely not leave the door. Wang Longhuang saw that Lin Gu didn't have much confidence, so he didn't comfort him. You can rest assured that no one will barge in here. We should go eat something. Do you want to join us? I don't have an appetite. Lin Gu rejected straightforwardly. Wang Longhuang didn't force him and nodded. Then we'll bring it back for you. I don't want to eat the vegetarian food in this nunnery without oil. Devil hand, let's go. Jean Genie followed behind Wang Longhuang and the two left the nunnery one after the other. If Yilan wasn't sure that she could complete the task within 24 hours, there was no point for them to stay here. They might as well go out and ask the police for information to make sure that they weren't targeted by the police. This was definitely the longest 24 hours Lin Gu had ever spent. The food that Wang Longhuang brought back was put aside. Lin Gu, who had no appetite, only drank a bottle of mineral water. Because he didn't want to leave the door, he didn't even go to the toilet, so he naturally controlled the amount of water he drank. Wang Longhuang couldn't help but sigh. Why didn't he have a little brother who could do this for him? He didn't realize that the biggest difference between him and Su-yun was that Su-yun always treated the people around him as brothers, unlike him, who liked to be high and mighty and treated the people around him as his subordinates. You should at least take a bite. What if you pass out when Su-yun wakes up? Jean Genie walked in front of Lin Gu and placed the new fast food she bought today beside Lin Gu. Thank you. Lin Gu said, you don't need to take care of me. Lung Chen is already dead. The traitor beside you is also dead. You can all return to Lunan. Our partnership is over. Wang Longhuang looked at Lin Gu and said, yes, our cooperation has ended. So you don't need to arrange for us to go anywhere. You're staying here for Su-yun, but I'm staying here to see my ex-wife again. I only hope that she and Su-yun can be safe. If she hurts herself because of saving Su-yun, I won't agree. Lin Gu smiled faintly and said, I didn't think that the Emperor of Lunan was such a love-struck person. Wang Longhuang was speechless. He stopped talking to Lin Gu. He was really worried that Yilan's body wouldn't be able to take it. It had already been 24 hours. Exhausting a person's physical strength without any rest was a very serious test. With Su-yun's heavy injuries, even if Yilan didn't say anything, Wang Longhuang knew that she would definitely use her unique 3,654 needles to save his life. Lin Gu had just fallen into deep thought when the phone he took out from Su-yun's pocket rang. It was Cho-yun. Lin Gu felt like he was in a dream. He even forgot to look for Cho-yun. When he received Cho-yun's call, he felt very guilty but also very relieved. Sister Cho-yun, where are you? Pigeon? When Cho-yun heard that the person who answered the phone wasn't Su-yun, she felt like a huge stone was hanging in her heart. Where's Su-yun? My brother, he... Lin Gu didn't know how to answer. I'm not sure yet. What do you mean? Cho-yun asked anxiously, what happened to Su-yun? Did Lung Chen do something to him? Lin Gu interrupted Cho-yun, Lang Chan is dead, but my brother is also seriously injured. Right now, the Immortal Mountain medical sage is treating him with acupuncture. I believe that he will wake up soon. Sister Cho-yun, where are you? How are you? Are you okay? Cho-yun heaved a sigh of relief. Wait for me at the nunnery. I'll go find you right away. After hanging up the phone, Cho-yun finally heaved a sigh of relief. Lung Chen was dead. This news was like a huge stone that had been pressing on her heart had been lifted. And Soo-yun's current situation of not knowing whether he was dead or alive added another huge stone to her heart. Cho-yun suddenly tore off the unfinished 4-drip in her hand and got up to get out of bed. "What are you doing?" Lee Moran was stunned for a moment. After he sent Cho-yun to the hospital, he had nowhere to go. He could only stay in the ward and wait for Cho-yun to wake up. Cho-yun's physical fitness absolutely amazed the doctors. She, who originally needed to be in the critical care unit, actually had a reaction after the 4-drip. After Cho-yun woke up, the first thing she did was to get her phone back and call Soo-yun. She was afraid that she had already lost Soo-yun. Fortunately, there was still hope for Lin Ji-e's news. Otherwise, she really didn't know what she should do. "I want to be discharged," Cho-yun said. "Thank you for everything you've done for me." Lee Moran's eyes widened. "Are you crazy? In your current state, the doctor said that you will be hospitalized for at least half a month for observation. You want to be discharged now? No, you have to lie down quickly. I'll find the doctor to re-inject you. You really don't care about your body. You'd better not stop me." Cho-yun said, "I don't have time to explain so much to you." Lee Moran saw Cho-yun's serious expression and immediately waved his hand helplessly. "Forget it, I know I can't stop you, but your current state is really too unstable. Where do you want to go? I'll take you there. If I can't be sure of your safety, I definitely won't let you leave. If something happens to you, I will definitely feel guilty for the rest of my life." "Thank you." Cho-yun only had gratitude for this. Lee Moran secretly looked outside the ward. While no one was paying attention, he sneaked out of the ward with Cho-yun. Because he had to pay for the treatment first, if he didn't run, he really didn't have enough money in his pocket to pay for the medical expenses. Nowadays, seeing a doctor in the hospital was so expensive that even people who could claim reimbursement couldn't afford it, let alone a small citizen like him who sold potato soup. The two finally escaped from the hospital. Lee Moran gave a yuan to the old man who left his electric scooter at the entrance of the hospital, then helped Cho-yun onto his electric scooter. He turned on the electric switch and left as fast as lightning. However, within 10 minutes, the electric scooter ran out of power. Chapter 8:21. Cho-yun suddenly appeared, followed by a strange guy. Lin Gu was confused. Who is he? But Cho-yun only cared about one thing now. Where is Soo-yun? Where is he? What's his situation now? Take me to see him. I don't know what's the situation now. Lin Gu pointed to the door behind him, but I believe he will get better. If you have the same idea as me, then dispel the idea of going in to see him. Yi Lan is saving him, but she doesn't allow anyone to disturb her during the whole process. Cho-yun frowned. Are you sure you can trust her? What she is doing to Soo-yun, didn't you see it with your own eyes? I have no other choice. Lin Gu said, his whole body has been overdrawn to the limit. If there is any delay, he may die at any time. I can only believe in her, believe in my brother's own will. There is no other way. Although Cho-yun really wanted to push the door in to see the situation, but seeing Lin Gu so firmly blocking her, she finally had to give up her idea. Although Lee Moran was full of curiosity about these people, he also knew that this place was not suitable for him to stay for a long time. These people were not ordinary people. He should try not to get mixed up with these people. Otherwise, it would be impossible for him to continue his dream of becoming a potato tycoon. So familiar. Jean Genie looked at Lee Moran and said to herself. Lee Moran smiled awkwardly. If you have been to Luyun Pedestrian Street, it is not surprising that you find me familiar. I sell potato soup on that pedestrian street. After that, he said to Cho-yun, since you have found your friends, if there is nothing else, I will go first. But your current physical condition is not good. Pay more attention to recuperation. At this moment, Jean Genie slapped her forehead. I remember. I saw your photo at the entrance of the police station. You are involved in the destruction of the pedestrian street. The police are now looking for you. What? Lee Moran's eyes widened. No way? So fast? I'm so wronged. Why am I so unlucky? I suggest that you don't leave now. Cho Yun said apologetically, I'm sorry for dragging you into this, but since it's already happened, there's no way to change it. Li Moran squatted on the ground while holding his head in grief. I can't afford to pay for the damage to the ancient building. I'm afraid I'll have to go to jail. I can't stay in this city anymore. Who is he? Lin Gu was really curious. Cho Yun told Lin Gu and the others everything that happened in Luyun Pedestrian Street. How they went there to eat yam soup, how they met Lang Chen, and how Li Moran stood up to help them. Cho Yun did not hide anything. After hearing Cho Yun's words, Wang Long Huang, who didn't pay any attention to Li Moran, also widened his eyes. You mean this kid? He could actually grab Lang Chen's wrist, and even threw Lang Chen out, which was why he crashed into the heavy wall of the ancient building. Cho Yun nodded. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it either. Lin Ji's face was full of surprise, but he absolutely believed Cho Yun's words. Cho Yun wasn't the kind of person who liked to joke. Moreover, he also knew about the existence of Little Dong Bei. He didn't have any mental state cultivation, but his speed and agility were definitely not inferior to a super expert. Obviously, Li Moran in front of them was also such a person. He didn't have any mental state cultivation, but his strength was not inferior to a martial arts expert at all. Li Moran saw that these people were curious about him and was a little embarrassed. I was just born with a little more strength. There's nothing special about it. How strong are you? Wang Long Huang asked. Li Moran shrugged. Anyway, I haven't met anything that I can't carry so far. There's a willow tree in the courtyard of the temple. Can you pull it out? Wang Long Huang probed. Li Moran shook his head. I'm not Lu Zhishan. I won't pull out a weeping willow tree. That willow tree is fine. It didn't offend me. Why would I pull it out? Seeing that everyone didn't believe him, Li Moran pointed to a table and said, I know you're not ordinary people. Why don't we arm wrestle? Devil's Hand. Wang Long Huang immediately winked at Jin Genie. Jin Genie was known as the Devil's Hand. His hands were naturally good, and the most basic was his wrist strength. Therefore, Wang Long Huang wanted him to test Li Moran. Jin Genie was also very curious about how capable such an extremely ordinary-looking young man was. He immediately sat on both sides of the table with him. Come on. Then, I won't be polite. Li Moran stretched out his right hand and shook hands with Jin Genie. Jin Genie didn't intend to be polite. He went all out as soon as he started, but after his explosive force surged out, he didn't get any feedback. The muscles of his right arm were bulging with blue veins, but Li Moran still didn't move. Jin Genie was dumbfounded. He couldn't move the opponent in front of him at all. What a terrifying wrist strength. Li Moran took a deep breath and said to Jin Genie, Brother, your strength is really great. If I don't hold my breath, I won't be able to hold it. Jin Genie's Adam's apple moved and he swallowed a mouthful of saliva. I just used my strength. You haven't really used your strength yet. Come on, I'm ready for everything. Knock me down and let me see how strong you are. Thanks for letting me win. Li Moran's voice fell and he suddenly used his strength. Clang! Jin Genie's wrist directly hit the table. The table couldn't withstand such a great force and broke into pieces. Jin Genie was shocked. He had prepared with all his strength, but he couldn't even hold on for a second in front of the opponent. The terrifying explosive force was really amazing. He knew that if he tried to hold on, it wouldn't be the table leg that broke, but his wrist. Wang Long Huang had to believe that he had learned something new. This kid was a genius. You really have some skills. Lin Gu exclaimed. Thank you very much for yesterday's matter. If you didn't save us, we might be in a worse situation than now. Li Moran was open-minded. It's not a big deal to help when I see injustice on the road. It's just a small matter. I think I'd better leave this place quickly. It will be too late when the police find me. Little brother, the police won't find you here. Wang Long Huang said. If you want to leave here, I can take you to London. With your ability, you don't have to sell potato soup on the street. If you work for me, I guarantee that you can get everything you want. Wong Long Huang, you're starting to rope people in? Isn't it a bit too early? Lin Gu couldn't stand it. Li Moran smiled embarrassedly. I think it's good to make potato soup. If it's done well, I can apply for a Hua Xia intangible heritage. Chapter 822. Cho Yun nodded. I think he's right. Li Moran, you should stay here to avoid the wind. The police won't find the nunnery. Then, I'll listen to you. Li Moran nodded to Cho Yun. He had no other choice. If the police were to find him, it would be too simple. His name in Luyun Pedestrian Street was quite influential. Most of the people had a good relationship with him. Many people also knew the old house he lived in. Even if Li Moran didn't need to worry about the people who had a good relationship with him telling the police his address, the gangsters in Luyun Pedestrian Street would definitely sell his situation to the police. Those gangsters really hated him to the bones. During the days when he was on the pedestrian street, those gangsters didn't dare to collect protection fees anymore. If Li Moran wanted to throw them out, it would be like throwing away chicks. Lin Gu, your people are also here. I still suggest you eat something. If you continue to waste time like this, even if Su Yun can wake up, you should be lying down. Wong Long Huang said indifferently, I'm not saying this because I care about your condition. After all, Lang Chan is dead and our cooperation is over. I'm also thinking for myself. If you can't do it, Su Yun and Cho Yun will both be injured. Won't I have to take care of them? Lin Gu looked at Wong Long Huang and smiled slightly. You don't have to worry about this. I know my own condition. If I don't eat for a few days, I won't be unable to stand up. Although he said this, Cho Yun's arrival made Lin Gu feel relieved. At least he dared to leave for a short time to go to the bathroom. Where's Luo Xing? Cho Yun suddenly realized that one person was missing. Jean Genie saw that Wong Long Huang didn't have the intention to talk about the traitor, so she said to Cho Yun, he's the person Lang Chen placed by our side. If it wasn't for him, Lang Chen wouldn't have come to this city so quickly. Cho Yun's eyes were filled with killing intent. Then where is he? I've always liked to clean house myself. You don't have to worry about that. After Wong Long Huang finished speaking, he turned around and walked out. His loyal subordinate had already betrayed him and stayed by his side for the sake of the evil warding scripture. This was a heavy psychological blow to Wong Long Huang. Lin Gu explained, Luo Xing is also dead. Li Moran swallowed a mouthful of saliva and said with a slightly nervous expression, Who the hell are you people? Don't tell me you also want to kill me to silence me? After all, Li Moran heard that 2 people had died in such a short time, and it was obviously related to them. Li Moran, who hadn't experienced the baptism of the underground world, naturally didn't understand what was going on. We are not evil people. Both of them got the punishment they deserved. Cho Yun said, If you think we're being unreasonable, then think about it. Why didn't the police investigate the cause of death of the 2 people, but instead look for the person who destroyed the ancient building? Could it be that 2 lives are not as important as Gu Jian? That's right. These words really touched Li Moran's heart. Comparing the death of a person and his negligence in destroying the ancient building, it was very simple to decide which was more important. The people who died were extremely notorious in the underground world. This is something the police can't investigate. Lin Gu explained, If you personally experienced the battle between my brother and Lang Chen, you should be able to feel that they aren't ordinary people, right? Yes. Indeed, they definitely aren't ordinary people. Li Moran opened his mouth wide. Then, what does the underground world mean? Lin Gu pointed to the door. The person who tried to rope you in just now is the overlord of Lu Nan's underground world. He took a fancy to your innate strength and believed that if you were trained, you would definitely become a great genius of the underground world and be used by him. Otherwise, do you think he would be so nice to you for no reason? Li Moran obviously knew that there was no such thing as a free lunch in the sky. He wants me to do things for him? Bad things? I don't dare to say whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, but he definitely wants you to do things for him. Otherwise, why would he take you away under the eyes of the police? Lin Gu said, however, what he said is true. If you follow him, you can immediately get something that you can't say you can get even if you work hard for 10 years. Li Moran touched his nose. Is it that exaggerated? You're not fooling me, right? I think that if I work hard for 10 years to buy a 5 Series BMW, he can give it to me right away? He can also afford a 7 Series right away. Cho Yun said lightly, it's just that if you can get something that costs a penny, you have to have the ability to do something that costs a penny. I don't need to say more about this simple truth. You can definitely understand it. Oh my God, he's so rich. Li Moran sighed with emotion. There was always someone better than him. While they were chatting and waiting for news, Yilan finally pushed the door open and walked out of her room. Her appearance immediately attracted everyone's attention. After 20 to 30 hours of continuous acupuncture treatment, Yilan's breathing seemed a little weak. Wang Long Huang attentively followed her and personally took the bird's nest soup that Jean Genie had put in a thermos and handed it to Yilan. Although Yilan didn't want to give Wang Long Huang face, she didn't care so much since she hadn't eaten or drunk anything. After drinking the bird's nest soup, her dry throat moistened a little. My brother, he... Lin Ji's nervous gaze never left Yilan's eyes. Yilan smiled slightly lazily. He's really tough. I didn't expect him to be able to persevere. Cho Yun instantly breathed a sigh of relief. Lin Gu was even more ecstatic. Then he? Inside. Is he awake? He's awake. After Yilan finished speaking, Cho Yun and Lin Gu quickly rushed in. Although Li Moran didn't know how badly Su Yun was injured, he was also very curious and wanted to go in and take a look. Yilan suddenly raised her hand to stop him and said to Wang Long Huang, who is this kid? What's his relationship with Su Yun and the others? This. Wang Long Huang didn't know how to explain. He helped us before. My name is Li Moran. I sell potato soup on Luyun Pedestrian Street. Li Moran said, the injured people inside are my guests. They encountered trouble while eating my potato soup, so it's natural for me to help. Now that we're going in and taking a look, it's more or less a favor, right? Yilan looked at Li Moran in disbelief. You helped Su Yun deal with Hell King Leng Chen? You're actually still alive and standing here. Hee, you have some skills. Isn't Hell King Hades? Why did he change his name? Isn't it something from Western mythology? Li Moran was puzzled. Kid, are you pretending to be stupid, or are you really stupid? Yilan looked at Li Moran. Go in. Su Yun must also want to thank you. There aren't many young people with courage nowadays. You're just a young man selling potato soup. You're really impressive. Chapter 8:23. Su Yun's narrow escape from death was truly a marvelous feeling. This was the feeling of being himself again after he lost control of his evil tendencies. He remembered everything that had happened before very clearly. When he lost control of his evil tendencies, it was as if he had become a completely different person. Losing control was his greatest feeling. That feeling of not being able to control himself really wasn't that great. Although in that state of madness, he had forced Lang Chen into a desperate situation and had no choice but to perish together with him. What made Su Yun rejoice was that the heavens helped the worthy. Just as Lang Chen decided to perish together with him regardless of the consequences, a kite that had been disturbed by them suddenly sprang up from the ground and fiercely bit the left side of Lang Chen's neck. It was also this that had interrupted Lang Chen's attack, and Su Yun had seized the opportunity to deliver a fatal blow to Lang Chen's chest. Even though Lang Chen couldn't accept this result, it was already too late. What should have ended had already ended. Su Yun's full-strength attack, coupled with the evil tendencies that had erupted from his heart, had shattered Lang Chen's heart and lungs. The moment Lang Chen fell to the ground, he was still staring fixedly at Su Yun's eyes. He was unwilling to accept this, extremely unwilling to accept this. One of the 7 kings, an earth-profound realm expert, had actually died under the disturbance of a snake. Lang Chen was destined to die with everlasting regret. In order to avoid being attacked by the Krite, Su Yun used the last of his strength to leave Lang Chen's corpse. When Lin Ge and the others found Su Yun had already completely exhausted his physical strength. What awaited him was only the pain of being devoured. Only Yilan knew that Su Yun had lost at least 10 years of his lifespan because of this battle. As long as the evil tendencies in his body weren't eliminated, there was a possibility that they would relapse at any time. Many times, the accumulated evil tendencies in Su Yun's body couldn't be controlled by himself. Once something touched that taboo that he wasn't allowed to touch, he would uncontrollably erupt with his evil tendencies. Although this vicious aura could temporarily increase his strength, and the boiling blood would reduce his perception of all pain, it was still not enough for him. However, every time this vicious aura erupted, he would have the same side effect of harming himself. This was the after-effect left after Su Yun's inner demon was eliminated. The fact that Lang Chen was able to trigger Su Yun's rage, which he had been trying his best to control, was enough to show how much Su Yun hated Lang Chen. "It's all over now," Su Yun smiled. "At least you don't have to worry about Guagua anymore." Cho Yun looked at Su Yun's weak body. Words couldn't describe the pain in her heart. "Don't think about anything. Take care of your body. If Guagua and Sister Shuang knew about your situation, they would be heartbroken. Even if you want to recuperate, you can't stay in this nunnery to recuperate." Su Yun smiled. When he woke up, the first thing Yilan said to him was, "If you can stand up, leave this place as soon as possible and find a place to recuperate. This is a nunnery, not a sanatorium." Lin Ge felt much more relaxed. As long as Su Yun was awake, nothing would happen. "Brother, as long as you say the word, we'll be ready to leave at any time." "Of course, the sooner the better." Su Yun said, "I parked the car in the parking lot on the east side of Lu Yun Pedestrian Street. You can go and get it back later." "Okay." Lin Ge nodded. At this time, Su Yun also saw Li Moran. "I really have to thank you for yesterday. If it weren't for you, I don't dare to imagine what would have happened." "I can't thank you enough. If you have any requests, feel free to ask. As long as I can do it, I will do my best." "Really?" Li Moran asked tentatively. "You really have a request?" Lin Ge looked back at Li Moran. Su Yun glared at Lin Ge and motioned him not to speak. He said to Li Moran, "Of course it's true. I, Su Yun, have always been a man of my word. I see that you're also an honest person." Li Moran smiled. "In fact, I don't have any requests, but I'm in trouble now. If I'm blamed for destroying ancient buildings, I'm afraid I'll be in jail for a few years. But I know since I was young that life is precious, and love is even more valuable. If it's for freedom, both can be abandoned. I really don't want to go to jail. If you want to leave here, Wang Longhuang's conditions are very good." Lin Ge said, "If you go to London with him, although I don't dare to say that you'll be second only to one person, you'll definitely be highly regarded." Li Moran scratched his head. "I'm not afraid of you laughing at me, but I really considered it. Didn't you say that he can afford a 7 Series BMW for me?" "I'm not lying," Lin Ge said. "But I think that person... how should I say it? His relationship with the nuns in this nunnery seems a bit unusual." Li Moran said, "Before my grandfather went to the Western Paradise, he told me that there are several types of people that can't be befriended. Among them, there are men who provoke nuns." Su Yun smiled bitterly. "Their relationship is indeed unusual, but it's definitely not what you think. However, if you want to leave here, I still don't recommend you go to London with Wang Longhuang. If you believe me, I'm willing to take you out of here. After eating your potato soup, I feel that it's really good. I think that if you decorate it a little, it's enough to become a signature. We have a star hotel in Shenzhen. You can work there with me." "Oh my God, you guys are amazing. Shenzhen has a star hotel?" Li Moran was surprised. "Even so, I still have to say that I definitely can't give you what Wang Longhuang can give you." "Su Yun, I won't force you on this matter. If you want to pursue a better material life, I don't have the right to stop you. If you believe me and treat me as a brother, I will definitely treat you as a brother. Seeing that Lee Moran was still a little hesitant, Cho Yun said, "You can think about it. Anyway, we won't leave right away. Brother, I'll go to the parking lot on the pedestrian street and drive the car back." Lin Gu said, "After I come back, let's prepare to leave. Go back and bring the good news to everyone so that they won't worry about you." Su Yun nodded. During the time when Lin Gu went there to pick up the car, he needed to adjust his qi. Otherwise, the bumpy journey from Nanhu to Shenzhen would be really torturous. Everything had to be prepared before going on the road. Cho Yun could see that Su Yun needed to adjust his qi, so she also signaled Li Moran to go out with her. At this time, they shouldn't disturb Su Yun. After they came out, Yilon asked, "How is it? Have you discussed when to leave here?" "Hee, I'll go and drive the car back, then we'll leave immediately." Lin Gu said, "This time, I really have to thank you. If there's anything you need me for in the future, just let me know." Chapter 8:24. Lin Gu smiled embarrassedly. "I know you didn't ask us to leave, but our alliance with Wang Longhuang has ended. If we leave, it doesn't mean that he will leave too. So, there are many things we can't decide. If they still choose to stay, I hope you won't blame us." Yilon frowned. "They won't leave with you? Why? Didn't you come together?" "If I had known, my brother wouldn't have come all the way to Lu Nan to suffer." Lin Gu said, "Our goal here is to deal with Leng Chen, but I'm afraid Wang Longhuang's goal here isn't just to deal with Leng Chen, right?" After saying that, Lin Gu glanced at Wang Longhuang, who was standing not far away. Wang Longhuang naturally heard everything he said. "Of course I didn't come here just to deal with Lang Chen." Wang Longhuang said seriously to Yilon, "I was worried that Wang Longhuang would come here and ask you to treat his injuries. I formed an alliance with them because I was worried about you. My goal was to fight against Lang Chen. However, Su Yun's potential really exceeded my expectations. Today, he alone." Yilon didn't seem to buy Wang Longhuang's explanation at all. "Since your matter is over, you can leave now. They're still here because they have injured people. You and your people are unharmed. Why are you still hanging around my nunnery?" Wang Longhuang's expression was slightly awkward. "I'm not hanging around here. I'm just worried about your safety. Yilon, please listen to me. I really don't mean anything else. We haven't seen each other for so many years. Some things should be in the past. All these years, I've carried more guilt than anyone else. Even if you want to punish me, it's been so many years. It should be enough, right? I've been repenting every day. I've been worried about you every day. Really, I beg you to give me a chance, okay? Ahem. I'm going to get the car. Sister Cho Yun, take care of my brother." After Lin Gu finished speaking, he left the nunnery. Cho Yun and Li Moran also left the room. Jean Genie was worried that her presence would make Wang Longhuang feel awkward, so she ran out of the nunnery early to smoke. Yilon looked at Wang Longhuang speechlessly. He pointed at himself and said, "Do you have a brain? Saying this to a monk like me, aren't you afraid that the Buddha Lord will punish you? Let me tell you, what happened between us was 10 years ago. I don't care what you did back then at all. I have the protection of the Buddha Lord, so I don't need you to protect me. I only have one request, please leave immediately." Wang Longhuang was unwilling to give up. "At that time, I was still young and not yet 30 years old. I was young and full of vigor. I really regretted what I had done. You know what? You can't make up for what you did back then." Yilon said, "You destroyed my dream of having a child and a complete family. But now, I have devoted myself to Buddhism. I don't want to think about those things anymore. Do you understand? I don't want you to destroy my dream again." Wang Longhuang was silent. What he had done was indeed unforgivable and could never be made up for. Although the evil warding scripture was a wondrous book for martial cultivation, it also destroyed Wang Longhuang at the same time. Nothing could go back to the past. Wang Longhuang didn't have any extravagant requests now. He only wanted forgiveness. However, this sentence of forgiveness was so unreachable to him. Although Yi Lan had devoted herself to Buddhism for many years, she still hadn't forgiven him. This meant that she still hadn't untied the knot in her heart. Even if she cultivated in seclusion for another 10 years, it would still be difficult for her to achieve anything. Some things were just like this. Yi Lan had been trying to let go of the knot in her heart for so many years. She originally thought that she had done it, but Wang Longhuang's sudden appearance once again made her realize that she hadn't truly let go of everything. She still needed to continue cultivating. "I will wait outside until you forgive me. Only then will I leave," Wang Longhuang said. "If you don't forgive me, I will keep waiting." "You won't do that. You can't let go of everything you have in Lunan," Yi Lan said. "Go back. Don't waste your time. You will never be able to let go of everything." Wang Longhuang shook his head. "Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Would you forgive me if I could give up some of my beliefs and become a Buddha sincerely? If that's the case, I would rather give up everything. When I can see you again, I feel that nothing matters anymore." Yi Lan sneered. "Only a ghost would believe your words. If you want me to forgive you, fine. Then go to Lu Xiang Temple 30 kilometers away from here and become a monk. I want to see how sincere you are." Wang Longhuang actually agreed. "Okay, it's a deal. I don't want anything in Lunan. I will become a monk today. I want to see how long you can last." Yi Lan said, "Don't force yourself. If you can't hold on, you can renounce asceticism. If I can still see you at the Buddhist conference 3 years later, I will forgive you." 3 years later? Wang Longhuang was stunned. He didn't know if his decision was crazy or not, but he still agreed without hesitation. As for everything in Lunan, he only hoped that the devil's hand who had been loyal to him for so many years could help him end it. Especially the book that caused him to become like this. It had to be destroyed. "I promise you, when we meet again in 3 years, you will see a new me," Wang Longhuang said. "I have long wanted to let go of all power struggles. I just didn't have the courage. Today you gave me the courage. Thank you. I won't see you out," Yi Lan said and turned to leave. Wang Longhuang found it hard to imagine how Yi Lan had survived for the past 10 years. In this nunnery where she was alone, day after day, more than 3,600 days and nights. And the person who caused her to be in this state was him. He was the main culprit. He needed the Buddha's salvation. When Wang Longhuang told Jin Jingyi about his decision, Jin Jingyi couldn't believe it. But the truth was the truth. No one could change Wang Longhuang's decision. No matter how hard Jin Jingyi tried to dissuade him, Wang Longhuang wouldn't take back his decision. Cho Yun, who was listening from the side, was also quite surprised. Li Moran lamented that he couldn't get a 7 Series BMW to drive in Lunan. About half an hour later, Lin Ge came back with the car. By this time, Wang Longhuang and Jin Jingyi had already left. When he heard that Wang Longhuang was going to become a monk, Lin Ge laughed until his stomach hurt. Anyway, he definitely didn't believe it. Yi Lan's mood seemed to be heavier than before. She expressionlessly sent them out of the nunnery and closed the door without making a sound. Chapter 825. I want to interrupt. Li Moran suddenly stood up. Can I, if there are no accidents, can I go with you? Brother Su, if I remember correctly, you said that I can go to Shanjiang with you, and then you have a hotel that can provide me with a job opportunity? Su Yun smiled. What I'm offering you isn't just an employment opportunity. You can participate in the management and promote your potato soup better. You can change it up, develop some flavors, and then make it a specialty of the hotel. After all, rich people are tired of eating things like sea cucumber, bird's nest, shark's fin soup, and the like. Too much nourishment can easily lead to nutritional imbalance in the body. Instead, some ordinary ingredients will become the mainstream on the table. Of course, the premise is that you can make different patterns. No one will order hot and sour shredded potatoes with the same ingredients, but if it is made into potato soup, the effect may be different. Potato soup can also be displayed in a star-rated hotel? Li Zui exclaimed, "Brother Su, you are not fooling me, right? You are not lying to me to be a coolie, right? Please, even if it is a human trafficker, they won't sell a Monster King at your age. Isn't that asking for trouble?" Lin Gu laughed. "But you did remind me of something. I've always felt that the stone lion on the left side of the hotel's entrance is a little slanted, but that thing is too big and too heavy. It can't be moved at all. Perhaps you can solve it if you go there." Li Muran was also generous. "It's a piece of cake, it's nothing. Su Yun didn't take you to Shenzhen to make ordinary potato soup." Cho Yun said, "As long as your potato soup can be combined with some expensive ingredients and change the pattern, just like the sushi in the sushi restaurant, ordinary sushi with tuna can be called tuna sushi, and the price can be doubled. If you add some sea cucumber and abalone to your yam soup, you can also change the name and sell it at a high price." Li Muran nodded as if he suddenly realized. The value of an object depends on what it is sold with. Su Yun, for example, if the same plastic bag is used to store trash, then it is trash itself. It has no value, and no one will want it. But if you go to a fruit stall to buy something and use this plastic bag to weigh the durian, then its value will be equal to the value of the durian. Li Moran gave him a thumbs up. He had met an expert today. If he put sea cucumber in his potato soup, it would be sea cucumber and potato soup. What was originally 5 yuan at a street stall could be sold for 180 yuan at a 5-star hotel. However, its main material was still just yams. Although the value had changed, it was not that exaggerated. "That's why I didn't ask you to come with me to Shenzhen to be an employee." Su Yun, if you can increase the influence of your potato soup, then you are welcome to become one of the managers of Xinkai Hotel. Li Muran nodded vigorously. There was no running away from this. Su Yun was not only interested in Li Muran's potato soup, he was also very clear that Li Muran was a rare genius. More importantly, he had helped them too much that day. Now that Xie had gotten into trouble with the police, if Su Yun did not step forward, then it would be too disloyal. After Su Yun and the others returned to Shenzhen, Yi Fala had already prepared a celebratory banquet for them. Although this matter was complicated and Su Yun probably needed some time to heal, the final result was still satisfactory. Moreover, when everyone heard that Li Muran had helped them, they were also quite enthusiastic towards him. This made Li Muran a little embarrassed. He had not enjoyed the feeling of being on the same side for a long time. When he was young, he did not know where his parents went, so he grew up with his grandfather. He originally thought that after graduating from university, he could be filial to his grandfather, but he could not stop the erosion of his 98-year-old grandfather. Ever since his grandfather left, he had been living alone. In the past half a year or so, he came to Luyun Pedestrian Street to sell potato soup, which was also something that happened after that. This place seemed to have given Li Muran a new lease of life. He really liked this place. He liked the feeling of someone treating him as a family member. Every time he saw Su Yun smile, he felt that he didn't follow the wrong person. Moreover, he had to admit that Shenzhen was really full of beauties. Although he was happy, the damage that his body had caused to Su Yun was still quite serious. At least, if he only relied on Su Yun's precious medicine, it could only prevent his injuries from worsening. It could not help him recuperate. Yi Lan only promised them to save Su Yun and let him wake up. Su Yun did not have the nerve to stay there and continue to trouble her. After learning about this matter, Yi Fala was still very depressed. She felt that even if her sister still had unresolved conflicts with her, she should not have let Su Yun come back after he was fully healed, knowing that he was her friend. In this regard, Su Yun felt that she was not wrong. He had already disturbed Yi Lan for no reason. If he asked Yi Lan to do anything else, it would be too much. In any case, this injury did not affect Su Yun's daily life. It was just that Su Yun could not use his qi during this period of time and could not tire himself out too much. To put it bluntly, before his state of mind recovered, he was just like an ordinary person. If he forced his body to do anything radical, then he was likely to fall into danger again. Now, Su Yun could be said to be a key target of protection. At least, Lin Gu and Cho Yun would not let Su Yun out of their sight easily. Chong and little Dong Bei were very distressed. They had always been afraid of protecting their brother Yun, but now, they suddenly became the target of protection. Each of them was more concerned than the other. This was what it meant to be a true brother. Li Moran saw all of this, and he was particularly moved by this. However, this did not affect Su Yun at all. Now that the biggest threat around him had been dealt with, what else did he have to worry about? He had witnessed Lang Chen's death with his own eyes. There was no mistake. During this period of time, Su Yun could finally sleep comfortably for a few days. Lin Suyin was still angry at Su Yun at first, but now that she saw Su Yun's state, she only felt distressed. Lang Chen was dead. Her enemy was gone. This was extremely important news to Lin Suyin. Su Yun called Lin Suyin to his room and showed her the photo that he insisted on taking with his phone at the last moment. Originally, I wanted to send this photo to Brother Dong immediately, but after thinking about it, I think it's better for you to inform him of this matter. I believe that the brothers of the Three Lotus Society are also waiting for this news. Chapter 8:26. Without waiting for Lin Suyin to inform Wu Yuandong and the other members of the Three Lotus Association, Lin Ge came knocking on their door. Seeing that Lin Suyin was also in Su Yun's room, he laughed. "What's the rush? Why are you looking for me at this time? How old are you? Can't you be more mature?" Su Yun looked at the time. It was indeed not early. It was already past 10 o'clock at night. Lin Suyin had also been in his room for quite some time. Lin Gu looked at Lin Suyin and laughed. "Brother, sister, I know that I'm disturbing you, but I also want to remind you that your body hasn't recovered yet. You can't afford to be tossed around, especially strenuous exercise. Although that piston movement isn't considered strenuous exercise, I still think that you should pay attention to it." "Damn." Su Yun stretched out his hand and slapped his head. This kid really dared to say anything. Wasn't he afraid that Lin Suyin would kick him in anger? Fortunately, there was a cultural difference between the mainland and Taiwan. Lin Suyin didn't understand what Lin Ge meant. She looked at Su Yun blankly. Su Yun hurriedly said, "Don't listen to this kid's nonsense. It's just that it's late. He's just reminding me to rest early. Right now, he and Cho Yun are like crazy. They can't wait to throw me into the ICU. Don't blame them." Lin Suyin smiled faintly and said to Lin Gu, "Dove, don't worry. I'll make sure that Su Yun has a good sleep before leaving. With me here, you don't have to worry. Go back and sleep early." Lin Gu thought, "It's because you're here that I'm worried. In the middle of the night, a man and a woman alone. That's like throwing dry firewood into a raging fire and saying that it's fine. Who would believe that?" If it wasn't for the fact that Su Yun's body couldn't do strenuous exercise and needed to be protected, he wouldn't have come here to seek excitement. It was just an exchange between men and women. He couldn't wait to keep the goodies within the family. For a lady like Lin Suyin, only Su Yun was worthy of her. "Then I'll go back first. You guys really need to rest early," Lin Gu said resentfully. Lin Suyin stood up and said, "I'm going back to sleep now. I'm just here to send a photo so that the brothers of the Three Lotus Society will know that their enemy is dead." Lin Gu hurriedly nodded, closed the door, and left. As long as there was no strenuous exercise, he wasn't worried about anything else. After Lin Gu left, Lin Suyin asked Su Yun curiously, "What did he mean just now? What did he mean by piston movement? You're already like this. You don't need to exercise at night, do you?" "Nothing. You heard wrong. He just asked me to stop doing push-ups." Su Yun said awkwardly, "It's getting late. You should go back too. As for Lungchen's matter, it's not too late to inform Brother Dong and the others tomorrow. If you tell them now, they'll probably be so excited that they won't be able to sleep at night." Lin Suyin nodded. "That's true. We'll talk about it tomorrow. You should rest well so that Lin Gu and the others won't be at ease. I'm going back to my room." After sending Lin Suyin off, Su-yun closed the door and sat cross-legged on his bed. After his inner demon broke out last time, he always thought that the tyrannical hostility in his body would dissipate. However, he didn't expect that it had accumulated in the depths of his heart and formed such a huge and terrifying force. Although this hostility could increase his combat strength by several times in a short period of time, the consequences of overdrawing his life force made Su-yun quite afraid. He had to find a way to get rid of this tyrannical hostility. This was Yi Lan's advice. Otherwise, this hostility would erupt again and again. When Su-yun couldn't control or rely on this hostility, he wouldn't be far from losing control. Of course, Su-yun might not lose control. If he didn't, it meant that his time was almost up. Yi Lan's words caused Su-yun to break out in a cold sweat. Su-yun asked her how she could get rid of this evil qi. Yi Lan said that she didn't have any good ideas. The only thing she could do was to persevere with her breathing to control this evil qi. If she wanted to get rid of it, she really didn't have any way. Wang Yi's breathing exercises were quite effective for Su-yun. As long as Su-yun persisted in the breathing exercises, he would always feel a special sense of relief in his heart. This feeling made Su-yun feel that his whole body and mind had a special sense of comfort. Now, Su-yun could only use this method to control the hostility in his heart. If he couldn't get rid of it, then Su-yun could only try to control it. Otherwise, if this hostility swallowed the real him one day, the consequences would be even more unimaginable. As for what the consequences would be, Yi Lan didn't tell Su-yun. Su-yun asked many times, but she refused to say. Su-yun, who was sitting cross-legged on the bed, completely cleared his mind and entered a state of meditation. He began to adjust himself according to the breathing exercises. During the process of adjustment, Su-yun clearly felt that his mental strength had improved greatly. Of course, at the same time, he also felt how serious his injuries were. He really didn't know how much good fortune his ancestors had cultivated for Su-yun to be able to turn misfortune into blessings every time. Although his situation was so bad that it made him feel lost and disappointed, he always saw hope every time. If it weren't for the medical sage of the Immortal Mountain, Yi Lan, who saved him this time, Su-yun would probably have died. After all, only Yi Lan could do such a complicated acupuncture technique. If it were anyone else, they could at most let Su-yun live for 3 to 5 days. It was impossible to let Su-yun stand up like a normal person again. The injury to Su-yun's veins wasn't that simple. After suffering Lang Chen's counterattack, everyone could imagine the consequences. After a while of breathing exercises, Su-yun took 2 9 Revolutions Soul Return Elixirs and a Qi-gathering elixir to consolidate the genuine Qi that he had lost. He hoped that nothing else would happen during this period of time. Otherwise, he really couldn't bear it. The Qingdao Film and Television Plaza was in the final stage of acceptance. When everything was done, it would be announced that it was ready. At that time, he would officially take over the Sky Entertainment Group from Zhua Meiyan. Alas, Su-yun felt that the burden on his shoulders had become heavier. He was really afraid that he would waste Zhang Guangyou's life's efforts. Although the name prodigal sounded awesome, Su-yun really didn't want to be a prodigal. When he was young, Su-yun often complained that God was unfair to him. Only now did he realize that God was really good to him. Zhua Meiyan had been supporting the Sky Entertainment Group for so many years. When it was at its peak, she wanted to pass it to him and enjoy it. No one was as lucky as him. Chapter 8:27. Su-yun's victory in the battle with Lang Chan scared Zhua Meiyan. Although Su-yun came to Qingdao alive, she still angrily punched Su-yun's chest 3 times. Su-yun could only smile apologetically. Zhua Meiyan would definitely blame him. He knew from the beginning that he didn't let her join because he didn't want anything to happen to Sky Entertainment Group before the completion of the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza. After staying on Qingdao for a while, Guagua and Ruan Qingshuang felt very good. Their mood was like the sun on a sunny day, especially bright. Su-yun said that he would end all these troubles, and now he did it. That was enough for him. Since Yi Fala had already left prison, there was finally someone who could take care of the matters at Xing Kai Hotel. Ruan Qingshuang finally had a chance to rest after so many days, so she mentioned that she also wanted to attend the ribbon-cutting ceremony at Sky Entertainment's Qingdao Film and Television Plaza. Not only was Su Yun very happy about this, but Zhuo Meiyan also welcomed it. It could be said that Su Yun hoped that all of his friends could be there. If it wasn't for the tracking device on Yi Fala's ankle, he would personally write an invitation letter to invite her to come. Looking at the completed Qingdao Film and Television Plaza, Su Yun sighed with emotion. The sun always came after the rain. Although he was in a very good mood, everyone still had some concerns about him, especially Lin Gu. He knew Su Yun's current state the best. Although everything looked calm, he knew that Su Yun's injury would affect him. He was now an ordinary person. If he used too much Jinqi, it was very likely that there would be very serious consequences. Brother, stay on Qingdao for a while. I want to find someone. After a joyous dinner, Lin Gu called Su Yun to his room alone. It's not a good idea for you to keep wasting time like this. This kind of thing can't be rushed. I will slowly recuperate. Su Yun said, I know who you're looking for, but if you go to Saranwan Island, you won't find the person you're looking for. Because Old Topple has already left the sea west of Athens and returned to Huaxia. Lin Gu was startled. How did you know I was going to find Mr. Wu Qiuzi? Has he returned to Huaxia? How is that possible? Didn't he want to completely leave Huaxia's underground world? How could he possibly come back? Since he came back, he must have something he wants to do, Su Yun said. I'm sure he went back to Huaxia because he came to find me after he returned to Huaxia. Moreover, he even saved my life. His whereabouts are unpredictable. Unless he wants to find us, we won't be able to find him. Lin Gu shook his head. No, even if there's only the slightest chance, I won't miss it. I must find him. He might be the only person in the world who can heal you as soon as possible. Tomorrow, Guagua wants to go to the beach, so Sister Shuang and Lin Suyin are teaching Guagua to swim at the hotel's swimming pool. Do you want to go? It's up to you. I won't lock you in the room. Swimming pool. Su Yun was stunned and immediately said, Yes, of course. Are there a lot of bikini girls in the swimming pool? Cho Yun saw that Su Yun was still in the mood to joke, so she relaxed a lot. Of course, Zhuo Meiyan and Tang Zhou are there too. Just now, after Lin Gu pulled you back to the room, Guagua's instigation, they couldn't wait to go to the swimming pool to show off their bodies. What did Guagua say? Su Yun smiled bitterly. No matter what, I'm also a woman. I understand how women think. Cho Yun shook her head helplessly. Because everyone knows that tomorrow, everyone will go to the beach together. So, they all want to see if other people's bodies are good. They all want to know where their weaknesses and strengths are. So, they can prepare swimsuits according to this point and show a more perfect version of themselves in front of you. Su Yun pointed at his nose. In front of me? Does that mean that today is a rehearsal and tomorrow is the real show? Cho Yun nodded her head. What do you think? Su Yun rubbed his chin. Then, I'd better not go today. Otherwise, there won't be a stunning feeling tomorrow. Phew. Just thinking about bringing all of you beauties to the bathing beach, my little heart is beating so fast. Up to you, Cho Yun said. Anyway, I'm going to the swimming pool. Chapter 828. The weather in June was obviously summer, and this could be seen from the girls' outfits. Not to mention the black stockings or fishnet socks on the streets, just the short shirts and hot pants were enough to make the energetic young men daydream. Guagua was the first to propose the idea of bathing in the sea. She started to dress up early in the morning. Under the tutu skirt, Guagua stood in front of the top beauties, like a moon surrounded by stars. Especially the hair that Ruan Qingshuang personally combed for her. The layers were distinct, and the shiny diamond hair clip definitely had the effect of adding the finishing touch. However, Guagua still hoped that she could grow up a little earlier and become like the beauties around her, because she felt that a girl could only be called a perfect woman when her body had matured. Although no one said so, Guagua still called herself Princess Taiping to serve as a foil. Ruan Qingxuang was wearing a long dress that reached the ground, and her temperament was bursting. Although she was not born into a rich family, her temperament was definitely not comparable to the average girl from a rich family. Women who were beautiful on the inside would always be given high marks by others, and women who were beautiful on the inside and stunning on the outside were obviously the best in the eyes of men. Zhua Meiyan's outfit was even more eye-catching. Her hair was tied up and her proud temperament showed the essence of a queen. If an ordinary girl wore a light gray Hermes outfit, it would definitely look like Huang Debo's Hermes jumpsuit that he wore on the Spring Festival Gala. No matter how one looked at it, it would look like an ordinary worker. However, on Zhua Meiyan it was different. She was a supermodel. Tang Jiu's transformation was definitely the biggest among everyone. She wore a white Adidas short-sleeved shirt, small floral tights, and retro New Balance sneakers. She directly threw away her usual professional image and returned to her original nature of a sporty girl. This was Su Yun's first impression of her. Because when they first met, Su Yun had stolen someone's bicycle to chase after a Mercedes-Benz. Other than perfection, it was hard to think of any other words to describe her. She was the kind of girl who was destined to be a fair-skinned, rich, and beautiful girl. Like Zhua Meiyan, she also liked big brands and wore the same Hermes fashion. However, her classic black and white dress made her look younger and more energetic. Compared to the four of them, Cho Yun was much more low-key. She was still in her usual black and white dress. The biggest change was that her proud long hair had been cut short. However, Su Yun had to admit that compared to long hair, Cho Yun's current short hair was more suitable. It made her look even colder and more arrogant. Phew. Guagua sighed. She had failed miserably in this battle of beauty. I'm really going to be a supporting character. Look at all of you are stunning and have long legs. Fortunately, Sister Wan didn't come. If she came, I wouldn't be able to survive. God is too unfair. If I was born 10 years earlier, I would have the capital to compete with you. Tisk, TSK, TSK. That's what they call easy for you. Zhua Meiyan bent down and gently pinched Guagua's little face. Guagua, do you know what a woman's greatest capital is? A woman's greatest capital is youth. You have the age that all of us are envious of. If I were 10 years younger, I would be willing to exchange anything for it. Unfortunately, I can't be 10 years younger. Guagua nodded seriously. That's true. It seems that I have the most advantage. Why is it that I have the advantage like you said, but Daddy's eyes are always wandering around your bodies? He doesn't even look at me. Su Yun blushed at this little girl's words. Isn't it enough that I'm hugging you? After that, Su Yun directly picked up Guagua. You're getting more and more jealous now. Let's go. Ruan Qingxuang said, Guagua, can't you wait to show Su Yun your dog paddle? Guagua shook her head with a headache. Daddy, I think they're not reliable when it comes to learning how to swim. It's better for you to teach me. I'm a mature woman, and I only learned the dog paddle after half a day. Isn't my swimming posture too ugly? Don't you think so? Don't worry. With Daddy here, I'm sure you can swim breaststroke, backstroke, butterfly, and freestyle. You can even learn synchronized swimming. Su Yun strode in front of them with Guagua in his arms. Zhua Meiyan had already prepared an 11-seat business car and was waiting for them at the entrance of the hotel. The driver was none other than Wang Zhe. Brother Yun, long time no see. Wang Zhe smiled and greeted Su Yun. After letting the beauties get in the car, Su Yun opened the door of the front passenger seat and sat in. I didn't see you yesterday. Where did you go? Don't mention it. Initially, Chiefs asked me to rush back from Ji Bay to have a drink with you yesterday. However, a large truck transporting daily necessities caught fire on the highway. The fire was too big. 2 fire trucks came and ran out of water, but they still could not put out the fire. They had to get water from the villagers nearby to put out the fire. It took more than 5 hours. When I rushed back yesterday, you were already resting. Su Yun sighed and shook his head. The weather is dry. We really have to be careful of fire. I'm afraid that a cigarette but can cause a big fire. Yes, yes. Wang Zhe nodded. Where's Sui Yeming? Didn't he come with you? Su Yun asked. Wang Zhe chuckled and turned to look at Zhua Meiyan. Without waiting for him to speak, Zhua Meiyan said, That brat has been making me worry recently. I asked him to stay in the northern meadows for a few days to reflect. It will save me some trouble on the ribbon-cutting day of the film and television square. What happened to him? Su Yun's curiosity was piqued. Seeing that Zhua Meiyan was silent, Wang Zhe said, He can only blame himself for not being careful with his friends. A few days ago, he got a girlfriend. The two of them got drunk in a bar and went for a drive. In the end, the car flipped and crashed into a tree. Fortunately, he's fine. Only the car was destroyed. Su Yun frowned. It was not a small matter to get into trouble while drunk driving. Mr. Zhua was angry at that time. He really wanted to put him in jail for half a year. But in the end, he didn't have the heart to do it. Wang Zhe said, Fortunately, there were no casualties. This is a blessing in disguise. He decided to reflect on himself and reflect on his mistakes on the ribbon-cutting day of the film and television square. I support that, Su Yun said. If we don't punish him this time, who knows what kind of trouble he will cause next time. Zhua Meiyan shook her head helplessly. I tore up his driver's license at that time. I was so angry. If it weren't for the fact that I didn't want him to miss the ribbon-cutting day of the film and television square, I would have personally sent him to jail for a year and a half so that he can remember this lesson. The few of them chatted and soon arrived at the beach. At around 10 in the morning, there were already many people immersed in the blue sea. Guagua shouted excitedly before she got out of the car. The seaside was definitely not the same as the swimming pool. Chapter 829. For this trip to the bathing beach, Zhua Meiyan had made ample preparations. There were 2 tents for changing clothes, 4 large umbrellas, and Wang Zhe had even rented a few reclining chairs. Then, he quickly helped Su Yun set up the tents. After some preparations, the beauties entered the tents one after another to change clothes. Su Yun and Wang Zhe changed into their swimsuits much faster. After changing, they even bought ice cream from the ice cream stall nearby to cool down. On such a hot day, if they got a nosebleed due to excessive heat, it would be hard to explain the reason. After all, the sun and beach were in bikinis, and all they could see were white legs. It was really easy to get aroused. Wang Zhe stretched. I haven't been to the sea in a long time. When I was young, my grandmother's family was a fishing village. Every time I went there, I would stay in the sea for a few hours. I would only go home when my shoulders were peeling from the sun. Haha, I really miss it. Brother Yun, I'm going to swim for a while. Let's go together. I haven't been to the sea in a long time, Su Yun said. You'd better wait. Wang Zhe smiled mysteriously. They must have something they need your help with. It's all simple work, so I won't help you. Let's go. Su Yun didn't understand the meaning of Wang Zhe's mysterious smile for a long time. It wasn't until the beauties in the tent came out with sunscreen that he finally understood. Zhua Meiyan handed a bottle of sunscreen for men to Su Yun. You men are so careless. The sun is so hot right now. Protect your skin. Where's Wang Zhe? Su Yun pointed at Wang Zhe, who was already in the sea. He can't wait. But it's okay. He's not white anyway. It's healthier for him to stay in the sun. Cho Yun had already started helping Guagua apply sunscreen. After Guagua arrived at the beach, her interest in learning how to swim was not as strong. She put more of her attention on the beach motorcycle. Driving that thing was really cool. Ruan Qingxuang was not as bold and unrestrained, but the skirt-style swimsuit could not hide her perfect figure and fair skin. Cho Yun was also more conservative and wore a one-piece swimsuit. Zhua Meiyan, Tang Jiu, and Lin Suyin were not so conservative. They were all wearing bikinis, which almost shocked the people around the beach. Ruan Qingxuang was so careful. She knew that Su Yun couldn't apply sunscreen on his back, so she asked Guagua to help him. Guagua looked at the beach motorcycle absent-mindedly while applying sunscreen to Su Yun's father. The beauties carefully took care of every inch of their skin. This waterproof sunscreen was not cheap. Soon, Zhua Meiyan was the first to deal with her skin. She said to Su Yun without hesitation, "It's your turn to serve the ladies. I can't apply it on my back." After that, she directly handed the sunscreen to Su Yun. How could Su Yun refuse? This was the small job that Wang Zhe said they needed his help with. The girls didn't care about it, so what was there for Su Yun to be afraid of? Wipe it then, it wasn't a big deal. With the first start, Lin Suyin made the same decision as Zhua Meiyan. Zhua Meiyan deliberately smiled and said, "You can also apply it to each other. Su Yun's hands are stronger. I think it's better for him to do this." Lin Suyin said, "Besides, letting him look at the beauties for free is such a big advantage. He should also pay a little labor." Ruan Qingxuang smiled helplessly. No matter how she looked at it, Su Yun was taking advantage of her. However, even she wanted Su Yun to help her apply sunscreen, let alone the others. Except for Cho Yun's swimsuit, which meant that she didn't need the service on her back, everyone else needed it. Cho Yun knew that Guagua couldn't wait to go to the beach motorcycle, so she left with her first. Su Yun could only put on sunscreen for the four beauties one by one without complaint. If this job was given to anyone, wouldn't it be a hard job that they would be willing to do even if they had to break their heads? Just as Su Yun was seriously applying sunscreen on Lin Suyin's back, two young men in swimming trunks came over with bad intentions. Su Yun knew from the beginning that something would happen. With these four beauties, it would be strange if they didn't attract attention. "Brother, you can't handle it alone, right?" The guy who spoke was wearing a gold chain around his neck and had jade-piercing fingers. He didn't look like a low-key person. "Haha, since we're fated to meet, let's be friends. We seem to be around the same age. Brother, what's your name?" Without waiting for Su Yun to speak, Lin Suyin frowned and said, "If you don't want to cause trouble, get lost." "Yo, this little temper of yours is really something." The other person wasn't low-key either. It could be seen from the 7 earrings on his ears. "Sister, do you know who my brother is?" "Haha, it seems like you don't know. If you knew, you wouldn't dare to speak so arrogantly." The young man with the jade ring on his finger smiled. "Let me introduce myself first. I'm Li Yiqian. This is my cousin, Li Yiwei. Maybe you don't know who I am when I say this, but if I mention my father, I'm afraid you won't be unfamiliar with him. Firstly, we don't want to know who your father is. Secondly, we don't want to know who you are either." Ruan Qingxuang was no longer the yes-woman who would tremble in fear when she met hooligans. After going through so many things, she was much more capable. "We don't want to be disturbed. Do you understand what I mean?" Li Yiwei licked his lips and touched his chin. "Hee, brother, I realize that these girls today are quite tasty. I like them. Can you have some manners? We're not hooligans." Li Yiqian glared and pretended to be a good guy. "We're all out to play. It's fate that we can meet. Look at you, hooligan. Do you still want to be friends?" Li Yiqian was much smarter than his cousin. Being able to bring so many beautiful girls out proved that Su Yun wasn't an ordinary person. Therefore, Li Yiqian really came here to make friends with Su Yun. Maybe they all had the same hobbies. It wouldn't be bad to share the resources around them. Seeing that Su Yun didn't react, Li Yiqian pointed to the girls not far away and said, "Those girls are our friends. We're all young people. Men and women are just interacting. There's no need to be so reserved." Hee. Su Yun finally showed a smile. "I found a problem. You second-generation Li really like to trick your father. Who's your father? Is he a high-ranking official or a local hooligan? As far as I know, the secretary of Guqin Island isn't surnamed Li. The big brother of Guqin Island isn't surnamed Li either. I advise you to listen to them and leave as soon as possible. Don't cause trouble for yourself." Chapter 830. Oh my god. This is a big shot. Su Yun was stunned for a moment. Really, when this kid mentioned his father's name, no one didn't know. Li Shuanggong was definitely a news figure. He became an internet celebrity because of his child's drunk driving incident. Later, his child was exposed by netizens in a bar. Of course, he wasn't easy to deal with. The watch on his hand was exposed to be worth hundreds of thousands. Anyway, he was directly expelled from the organization because of a bunch of negative news. He also lost his membership. It was just unexpected that the son of the leader that everyone thought had fallen was still so arrogant. He still dared to use his name to flaunt his prowess and act tyrannically. This proved the saying, "A starving camel is still bigger than a horse." Although Li Shuanggong was nothing now, his family background was strong and his network was powerful. Even if he was expelled from the organization, he was still doing well in society. Relying on his connections and the resources he had always lived a good life. He was no longer afraid of being exposed for wearing a branded watch. How about it? Are you scared? Li Yiqian saw that Su Yun didn't speak, so he snorted. I also gave you face, so I came to make friends with you. Isn't the current society like this? One more friend means one more path. One more enemy means one more pit. I didn't come to find trouble with you. Then why did you come to me? Su Yun was really interested to hear what this kid meant. Come to make friends? Do you think I will believe you? Li Yiqian nodded. You really don't believe me. I came to you to make friends. If we get along well, then let's be brothers. It is said that brothers are like hands and feet, and women are like clothes. The relationship between us brothers is good. Then, we can change clothes when we have nothing to do. Resources can be shared. What do you think? This kid really had a hidden meaning in his words. In the end, he was provoked by the beauties around Su Yun. With beauties around, there would always be some trouble. Su Yun was used to this. Li Yiwei also laughed and said, My brother has never given anyone face like this before. Brother, you are the first. Don't pretend to be confused. The girls around you are all top-notch, but ours aren't bad either. Let's get to know each other. Come to my house tonight and have some fun. We'll wear this and have a swimsuit party. I guarantee you'll have a good night. Tang Jiu was disgusted at the sight of this person's filthy face. He immediately rebuked, Shut your mouth. No one wants to hear you speak. Yo, the girls around you are quite aggressive. Brother, how did you train them? Li Yiwei still recklessly said to Su Yun. Su Yun looked at him with disdain. Don't compare them with the trash around you. You'll regret what you just said. Don't blame me for not warning you. If it wasn't for his current physical condition that prevented him from doing strenuous exercise, Su Yun would have already slapped the two annoying flies away. Why would he waste so much time talking to them? Are you trying to scare me? So what if I said it? Women are all the same. In this society, who doesn't know that whoever has money and power is the sleeping beauty? Li Yiwei said, If you were a loser, you wouldn't have so many girls by your side. Don't pretend to be a good young man. We're all the same type of people. These girls are also the same type of people as our girls. Why are you pretending? Zuomeyan shook her head helplessly. I didn't want to do anything, but your mouth is too foul. What? What can you do to me? When Li Yiwei heard Zuomeyan's words, he put his hands on his waist and puffed out his chest. I like the way you are. You must be very sexy in bed. Ouch. Before Li Yiwei could say the word slut, Zuomeyan had already kicked him in the crotch. Let alone an ordinary person, even an expert would be bedridden for at least half a year after being kicked by Zuomeyan like this. I'm afraid no one likes someone like you now. You must be a piece of trash in bed. Zuomeyan said disapprovingly, My Qianxin has already advised you to shut up, but you still didn't stop. It's too late to regret it now. Li Yiqian saw that the other party was so ruthless. Naturally, he was so scared that his anus tightened. Then he looked at Li Yiwei, who was holding his crotch and rolling on the beach, and felt his balls ache. She won't be merciful. If you still want your cousin to have fun in bed with you in the future, then take him to the hospital as soon as possible, Suyun said. I can't guarantee that he will be cured or not, but at least it's better than being a cripple. Li Yiqian was obviously unwilling, but he couldn't watch his brother become a cripple like this. The girls who came to the beach with them saw that something had happened, and they all took their things and left. They were all peripheral girls, and no one wanted to get into trouble. Okay, you guys have guts. Just you wait. Li Yiqian said, You think my dad can't do it now, right? Okay, I'll let you know what it means to say that a starving camel is bigger than a horse. Even big brother Shirley has to give my dad some face. Just you wait. Don't leave if you have guts. You can call for help, but let's see who's afraid of whom. Just one word from my dad, and Shirley will bring people to deal with you. Suyun nodded. Don't worry about this. We just arrived, and we won't leave. You must ask Shirley to bring people here personally. If Shirley would give his father, Li Shuanggong, 30% of his face, then he would give Suyun 300% of his face. He also had something to say to Shirley. The last time they met, Shirley said that if he could see Xie eyes, he would pass a message to him. Now that Suyun had Xie Ai's contact number, he also needed to tell Shirley. After all, this big brother of Qingdao was quite loyal and gave him face. Are we in trouble? Lin Suyin frowned. Are we really going to continue playing here? Should we change to a bathing beach? There's nothing to be afraid of. Zuomeyan said. You still have me. You can relax and enjoy the mainland's ocean. See if it's any different from Taiwan. Lin Suyin denied. I'm not afraid. I just don't want to be disturbed by them later. They won't. I promise. Suyun, let's go. Guagua is still waiting for me to teach her freestyle. It's rare to have a chance to enjoy this sunny beach bikini. I definitely won't let anyone disturb my mood, haha. Ruan Qingshuang and Tang Jiu, of course, didn't care. Even if there were gangsters looking for trouble later, Wang Zhe could handle it alone. There was nothing to worry about. Their priority now was to enjoy the sun and the ocean. Chou Yun and Guagua also got off the beach motorcycle and gathered. Guagua gave a thumbs up. Aunt Zua, that kick just now was beautiful. Zuomeyan shook her head helplessly. Why do you call Tang Jiu and Chou Yun sister, but call me aunt? Am I that old? That's not it. Guagua said. It's just because you're older than my Mama Wan. They're all younger. Chapter 831. Suyun, teach me backstroke. Can you help me support my waist? Otherwise, I'm worried that I won't be able to float. Suyun, teach me butterfly stroke. Just help me hold my breasts. I'm worried that I'll choke on the seawater. Suyun, I want to learn breaststroke. Dive down and see if my posture is right. See if my thighs are in place. Suyun had just taught Guagua a second swimming posture other than doggy paddle when he was surrounded by beauties. Other than Ruan Qingshuang's request to help support her waist, Lin Suyin and Zuomeyan's requests were probably a little impure. At least, Suyun's blood was boiling when he heard it. The bikinis on the beauties were already enough for Suyun to control. Wang Zhe, come and help me. Go down and see if your boss's thighs are in place. Suyun was speechless. He could only drag Wang Zhe in to alleviate the awkward situation of being surrounded by beauties. Zuomeyan glared at him. Wang Zhe didn't dare to dive into the water. Wang Zhe didn't want to get into trouble and quickly found an excuse to leave. You must all be thirsty. I'll go up and buy some shaved ice for you. You can go up and cool it down at any time. You know that I love cherry-flavored shaved ice. Zuomeyan was very satisfied with Wang Zhe's adaptability. Tell the cold drink stall owner to put less sugar and more natural freshly squeezed fruit juice. I don't eat shaved ice mixed with food coloring and saccharin. Of course. It must be made with freshly squeezed fruit juice. Wang Zhe nodded vigorously. I want strawberry-flavored. Guagua didn't stand on ceremony and directly ordered. Since Guagua had already chosen her flavor, Wang Zai's gaze swept across the crowd. Strawberry, cherry, mango, kiwi. Anyway, there were several flavors. To be honest, he was really worried that the boss selling shaved ice didn't have so many fresh fruits. However, looking at the sign of the shaved ice shop, it should be comparable to the Häagen-Dazs of the ice cream industry. For the time being, he believed in the ability of this shaved ice shop. As long as the shaved ice was not mixed with food coloring and saccharin, it did not matter even if it was 10 times more expensive. The food he ate had to be healthy. The current situation in Huaxia was that housing prices were high and there was no land. The sky was not blue, the food was not green, and the tap water could not be drunk directly. One had to be careful when eating. Although it could prevent gutter oil-fried dough sticks, it couldn't prevent gutter oil-fried instant noodles. Although it could prevent melamine-added milk powder, it couldn't prevent health supplements that couldn't kill people. In fact, the food coloring added to shaved ice paled in comparison to some unscrupulous businesses. Food safety checks were done every day, but the exposure of unqualified products never stopped. Since 2014, things like Bigley brand Spicy Crisp and Old Sugar Shop salt and salt-fried dough twists started to be found to be unqualified. Canned cherries and Invisible Treasure Snow Pear-flavored carbonated drinks followed closely behind. Soon, a batch of edible mushroom canned food produced by Yanjing Shanda Food Company, Limited and a batch of candy dates produced by Yanjing Fu Lajia Food Company, Limited were all affected. A batch of Tsang Jintong Shitong mushroom sauce produced by Yanjing Fu Wei Food Company, Limited was definitely not edible. If one were to talk about black-hearted businesses now, it would definitely not be those who were selling soy sauce, but those who were making soy sauce. The random inspection results showed that 14% of the factories were unqualified. In the future, if anyone was bored, don't say that they were selling soy sauce. It really boosted the arrogance of these black-hearted bosses. It had to be said that you get what you pay for. These shaved ice that cost a few dozen yuan was definitely the real deal. Compared to the shaved ice that cost a few yuan, it was like heaven and earth. Su Yun led the beauties ashore. After being soaked in the sea for a long time, the beauties started the major project of applying sunscreen. But this time, Su Yun was experienced. He stayed far away from the beginning to avoid being ordered to apply sunscreen. This was a good job, but it was easy to be envied by others. It was just that it didn't feel good to be stared at by jealous eyes. After receiving the shaved ice, the girls hid under the parasols and enjoyed the sea breeze. Su Yun also ate energetically. Such a carefree day was really getting shorter and shorter. We seemed to be in trouble. Lin Suyin actually didn't want to be disturbed, but there were some things that she couldn't decide. I already said that we should change to a bathing place, so that we won't be interrupted again. An hour and a half ago, Li Tian, who had left with his cousin who had his manhood kicked, returned to the bathing place again. This time, he didn't come alone. Looking at the more than 10 people behind him, he knew that this matter wasn't that simple. Obviously, the big brother that Li Yiqian invited was quite domineering. He wore sunglasses on his face, had bright hair, and looked like he could hold back 10,000 people. Even the people in the management office of the bathing place could see that these people didn't come with good intentions at a glance, but they didn't dare to come forward to stop them. The local tourists of Qingdao would take a step further away, and they all looked quite scared. Su Yun smiled slightly. Trouble was coming, but it wasn't his trouble. Brother Lei. It's this guy's bitch who kicked Wei. You have to help me get back my face no matter what. Li Yiqian hadn't arrived yet, but he pointed in the direction of Su Yun and scolded. Who else could the big brother next to him be if it wasn't Shirlei? Shirlei looked in the direction that Li Yiqian pointed and was stunned. He hurriedly took off his sunglasses and rubbed his eyes. At that moment, his face was full of joy. He really didn't expect to see Su Yun again so soon. Ha ha. Shirlei was so happy that he didn't care so much about Li Yiqian. He immediately sped up and rushed forward. Li Yiqian was still nervous. He didn't expect Shirlei to be more anxious than him when he saw a beauty. He couldn't help but go forward to do things. He didn't take so many people in the bathing place seriously. At least, don't go too far. Take her away first, find a place where there is no one, and take care of her slowly. Thinking of this, Li Yiqian also sped up and chased after him. It didn't matter if he chased after him, but Li Yiqian was stunned. Shirlei walked in front of him, and not only did he not get angry, he even gave him a warm hug. "Brother Yun, I really didn't expect to see you again so soon. We are really fated. I passed by the film and television plaza a few days ago and saw that it was almost completed. I was wondering when you would come to Qingdao again. This is really fate." Su Yun was also happy. "At first, when this kid said that he wanted you to deal with me, I was worried that he was bragging. He did me a favor, so I won't argue with him about the previous matter." At this time, Shirlei's trusted subordinates also came forward and respectfully greeted Su Yun, "Brother Yun." Chapter 832. Lei. "Brother Lei, what's going on? Do you know this person?" Li Yiqian stared with his eyes wide open. He spent so much effort to find Brother He, who was the most powerful person in Guqin Island, but he was friends with a kid he had to deal with. Where could he put his face? No matter what, Shirlei had to settle today's matter for him. "Brother Lei, I can't care so much today. Even if you know this person, I can't give them face. That woman kicked Yi Wei until he was crippled. If I don't teach them a lesson, how can I explain it to my family? Even if you don't give face to the monk, give face to the Buddha. You have to cripple this person today, right?" Shirlei's face was a little ugly. He seemed to be quite dissatisfied with Li Yiqian's words and actions. His eyebrows knitted together. "Li Yiqian, you really found the wrong person today. Let me put it this way. For the sake of the friendship between your father and me, I'll give him face and not bicker with you today. My brother Yun is also a magnanimous person. You'd better stay away and don't provoke them again. Otherwise, I won't give face." Li Yiqian's face changed drastically. "Brother Lei, what do you mean? Seeing that my father has no power now, right? You don't have to hit him when he's down, right? You changed your face a little too quickly." "Humph, everyone says that Guqin Island's Shirlei is loyal. I think your so-called loyalty is just that. You're a coward when you meet someone more powerful than my family?" Hearing Li Yiqian's words, Shirlei's underlings couldn't control their emotions. A few of them were slightly impulsive and wanted to beat him up. Shirlei was a big brother after all. He could keep his cool and raised his hand slightly to signal his underlings not to be too impulsive. After all, this was the bathing area, and Li Yiqian was not a stranger. "Kid, I'm just giving face to your father, that's why I said this to you." Shirlei said, "I'll say it for the last time. You provoked the wrong person today. If you think I'm looking down on Brother Li, then go back and tell him. I can't fall out with my brother Yun because of your Li family. We're not on the same level, understand? Not on the same level." In Shirlei's eyes, other than his close brothers, who else could be so important? In any case, Li Yiqian didn't believe it. He pointed at Zhua Meiyan's nose and said, "Fine, then at least let me deal with this woman. He's the one who crippled my cousin." Shirlei looked at Zhua Meiyan and laughed awkwardly. Then, he said to Li Yiqian in a stern voice, "I told you that you can't afford to offend her. If you want to cause trouble for yourself, I won't stop you. But don't blame me for not warning you. If you dare to touch any of them, I won't be polite to you." "You." Although Li Yiqian was not afraid of Su Yun and the others, he still had some misgivings towards Shirlei. Even when his father was in power, he would at most call Shirlei brother, not to mention now that he was ordered to resign. The only reason Shirlei could give him face was because of their friendship in the past. The crew-cut guy next to Shirlei stepped forward and stopped in front of Li Yiqian. "Brother Lei said that you shouldn't get into trouble again. It was better for everyone to leave as soon as possible. Even your father doesn't want to see you get into trouble with Brother Lei's friends." These words were not false at all. Although Li Shuanggong's life was not bad now, he would definitely not be stupid enough to provoke Lei to the point of seeking his own death. Okay, Brother Lei, today's matter is because of you. Otherwise what? Guagua was already unhappy with him. Look at you. Weren't you quite arrogant just now? If you have the ability, then fight with my Aunt Zua. You're a man, you shouldn't be afraid of a woman, right? Guagua's provocation really made Zua Meiyan not know whether to laugh or cry. But Li Yiqian was really afraid of Zua Meiyan. Who knew if this woman would suddenly cripple him with a kick? He didn't want to experience the feeling of his balls exploding. He might not be able to be a pure man for the rest of his life. This was worse than killing him. Fine. You have the ability. You have the guts. Today's matter is over. In the future, we'll go our separate ways. Li Yiqian angrily shook his head. Brother Lei, fine. I have nothing to say today. Our relationship is just like this. Before Li Yiqian left, Lei only said one sentence to him. I've given your father enough face. In the future, if you get into trouble, don't come looking for me. If you have nothing to do, think about the meaning of my words. Li Yiqian's body stiffened. This was definitely not good news for him. He had gotten into big trouble several times before. Ordinary people couldn't solve it, but Lei always covered it for him with one sentence. For example, more than a month ago, he took a drunk woman to a hotel in Lan Gui Fong. He didn't expect that the girl was the daughter of an old ruffian on Chin Island. This matter was definitely big. If Lei didn't speak up for him, the other party would have chopped off his penis and fed it to the dogs no matter what. If his father, Li Shuanggong, was still in power, no one would dare to say such things to him. At most, they would just have to pay some money. Taking a drunk woman to a hotel in a bar was not a big deal. Even if he took his cousin and friends to do something, it would at most be taking turns to have sex. What was the big deal? But now it was different. The public opinion of the netizens had ousted his father. He could only rely on his father's strength to run rampant for a few more years. When his father's remaining power was gone, he could only stay in the institution that was arranged to take care of him and muddle along for the rest of his life. At most, he could only become a deputy director. Now that he had gotten himself into trouble, there were still people like Lei who would help him out because of his relationship with his father. However, Lei's words just now made it clear that he would not help him clean up his mess anymore. Although Lei was a particular person, it was impossible for him to clean up Li Yiqian's mess again and again in the past 6 months. To put it bluntly, he was out to make a living, not a philanthropist. Looking at Li Yiqian's back as he left dejectedly, he could only say that a pitiful person must have something to hate. Brother Lei, regardless of whether today's coincidental meeting is fate or not, I have something to tell you. Su Yun, it's something that you definitely want to hear. Lei was stunned. What was the news that he wanted to hear? Could it be that Brother Yun is going to settle down in Qingdao in the future? Lei guessed. Su Yun laughed. If this counts, then I'm at least half a Qingdao citizen. After all, the movie plaza has taken root here. I'll come here often in the future. If there's a suitable house, I hope that Brother Lei can help me take care of it. Don't worry about that. There's definitely no problem. Lei said, there's a villa in Zhongshan Park for me. I'll give you one directly. Su Yun smiled slightly. I'm sorry. It's okay, I'm not embarrassed. Guagua smiled. Su Yun gestured for Ruan Qingshuang to carry Guagua away and said to Lei, the news that I want to tell you is that I met CFAIs in Taiwan some time ago. I also got his contact information. If you need it, I can give it to you now. Chapter 833. Lei was excited when he got CFAI's number. Although he wanted to call and greet him as soon as possible, he didn't know what to say in front of so many people. He thought about it and put his phone away. It wouldn't be too late to call and greet his benefactor when there was no one around. Brother Yun, I'm so excited to meet you. Coincidentally, I have something to discuss with you. Lei chuckled. I see that the film and television plaza has been built. It's so big. The main venue is surrounded by film and television studios. You're really going to create an Oriental Hollywood? Su Yun nodded. We're confident that we can make Qingdao one of the bases for producing the most movies in the world. This place is blessed by nature. It's an urbanized city, famous mountains and seas, and Huaxia's largest sea bridge. These are the advantages of the location. If we perfect the film and television plaza, we'll naturally attract filmmakers to join Sky Entertainment. Sky Entertainment's strength is absolute. I really admire you, Brother Yun. Your dream and the things you're doing are all for the glory of Huaxia. Shirley gave a thumbs up. I'm thinking that such a big film and television plaza definitely needs a unified and perfect security system. I wonder if you've signed a contract with any security company? Su Yun didn't know about this. He looked back at Zhua Meiyan. Do you have any security companies? We do, but we haven't signed a contract yet. I think the film and television plaza needs a security team of at least 100 people. Zhua Meiyan said. Otherwise, it'll be difficult to guarantee the security of such a big place. Also, I hope that the security guards will all have military experience. We don't need to do any physical training. Su Yun had to admit that Zhua Meiyan's consideration was very thorough. Brother Lei, if you know any security companies that can meet Boss Zhua's requirements, you must introduce them to me. Ha ha ha. You're the most familiar with Qingdao. Shirley smiled. I brought this up because I wanted to talk to you about this problem. Zhua Meiyan was also interested and sat beside Su Yun. Shirley continued, the last time we met, I had already set up a security company. My main purpose was very clear. Many people who had retired from the army and returned home couldn't find suitable jobs. Furthermore, they were in their prime and needed to support their families. They were full of passion and energy. I thought that the security company could provide them with a platform. It just so happens that we have acquaintances in the public security system, so this matter was quickly settled. Su Yun, that's a good thing, Brother Lei. You've helped the country solve a lot of jobs. Sigh, things really don't go smoothly. Shirley shook his head helplessly. Since then, I've recruited more than 160 retired brothers with top-notch physiques. Originally, I thought that the security company could do well, but later I found out that most of the units that need security have signed long-term contracts with the previous security company, and other than the supermarket, the places that need security basically do not need more than 3 to 5 security guards. You still haven't arranged for your people to be sent out? Su Yun was stunned. Shirley nodded. That's right. I've been undergoing strict security system training. Although I could have used some tricks to get my people to replace the other party's people, I'm not afraid of signing a contract. There's nothing I can do about it with my fists. But later I thought about it and realized that it was meaningless. My people would be sent to work, but it would also cause the other person to lose his job. One for one, there's no point in doing so. Su Yun agreed. But I didn't give up. I paid them and continued the training. Now, these brothers all understand me. Shirley said, those who understand me also know that I'm doing this out of kindness. They're too embarrassed to continue working here, but I really want them to have a good way out. A few days ago, I happened to see that the film and television plaza was about to be completed, so I thought of you. Su Yun smiled. Brother Lei, you really helped us solve another problem. Shirley was stunned. Since Su Yun has already made the decision, I'll prepare the contract. Zhua Meiyan said, Boss Shi, we'll be partners in the future. I've already reserved everyone in your security company. After signing the contract, they can immediately go to work at the film and television plaza. Shirley felt a wave of gratitude. It was clearly Su Yun who helped him solve a big problem, but Su Yun insisted that he was the one who helped him. Brother Yun, I'm a person who believes in fate. The fortune teller said that I have a benefactor helping me in this life. You're my benefactor. Everyone takes what they need. Su Yun smiled. It's not that exaggerated. However, Brother Lei, I have a request. I let your security company's people enter the film and television plaza to do security work, but it doesn't mean that I won't observe them. If they don't do it well, I won't let them stay because of your face. You don't have to worry about that. My people are all high-quality retired soldiers. They're definitely not a bunch of trash recruited from society. Shirley said, if you have any requests, just tell me. We're brothers, but cooperation is cooperation. If you have any requests, you can put them in the contract. I don't have many requests. I just want my people to eat the average salary in this industry. I don't plan on making a lot of money from this security company. Zhuo Meiyan smiled. Boss Shi, my contract will be very detailed. You must read it carefully, and then let your people read it. Since they're working at Sky Entertainment, they'll have to endure a strict management system. Of course, they won't do it for free. The salary I can give them will definitely be the highest in the entire Qingdao security industry. However, the service I want will definitely be the best in the entire Qingdao security industry. You don't have any objections to that, right? Shirley nodded vigorously. No objections. Boss Zhuo, whatever you say, we'll do it. I'll do my best. In the future, the film and television plaza will become a landmark of Qingdao. Su Yun said. It should be equipped with the best security system. Brother Lei, meeting you today was really a big gain. In the blink of an eye, you've taken care of my security. Shirley's heart was blooming with laughter. How about this? I'll treat you to lunch today. Brother Yun and the other beauties, can you give me some face? After lunch, I'll take you to my security company to have a look. Although our scale isn't that big, and we only have 160 security guards, it's not bad to have started out like this. You guys can give me a rating and give me some suggestions. Zhuo Meiyan nodded. That's a good suggestion. Guagua, you've been swimming for so long. Are you hungry? Guagua nodded. Chapter 834. According to Shirley's plan, today's meal was to be taken care of. There would be at least 28 main dishes plus ginseng abalone and bird's nest. However, Su Yun did not want to be so extravagant and wasteful. Even though Operation Disc had long passed, he had to admit that the amount of food wasted on Hua Xia's dining table was terrifying. If everyone thought of the children in the mountainous areas who could not eat before ordering, they would not order to make up the numbers for the sake of face, right? Hua Xia people like to even numbers. It could be seen on the dining table. The general standard would start from 12 dishes. 16, 18, 22, 26, 28. All of them were nice numbers with 6s and 8s. In terms of alcohol, Su Yun did not ask him to bring any Wuliangye or Sky Blue. It was just a few cans of Qingdao beer. After all, it was noon and the weather was hot. Drinking some beer was just to cool down the heat. There was no point in drinking white wine. Everything was simple. It was just a simple meal. But in reality, how much could 8, 9, or 10 people eat? In addition to drinking, chatting, and finally asking for some staple food that they could only look at but not eat, there would usually be a lot left even if there were more than 10 dishes, let alone 28 dishes. More than 2/3 of it would definitely be thrown into the trash can. A person of Shirley's status would definitely not choose to take it all away. Even today, when Su Yun did not want him to set such a high standard, it made him feel like he had lost face. However, after listening to Su Yun's explanation, he suddenly became more enlightened. Thinking about the food he wasted all year round, he really had the urge to slap his own mouth. Brother Yun, listening to your words is better than studying for 10 years. Shirley said, from today onwards, I will definitely not waste my food. I will take the leftovers home. I will use the remaining money to contact a few Hope primary schools and participate in poverty alleviation. We are not university students. If we can nurture a few university students, it can be considered as making up for the sins I have committed over the years. Brother Lei's awareness is really high. Su Yun could not help but smile. I really did not make the wrong choice as a friend. Let's have a toast. You have someone to be your chauffeur, and I have someone to be my chauffeur. You can't rely on luck when it comes to drunk driving. When Shirley heard this, he looked at Wang Zhe in embarrassment. Then, what would Brother Wang like to drink? You're too strict as a boss. What's wrong with a few bottles of beer? Zhua Yeming had gotten into trouble because of his drunk driving. Now, no one would dare to cause trouble in front of Zhua Meiyan. Wang Zhe didn't like alcohol that much, so he waved his hand and said, Brother Shirley, you don't have to be so polite. Let's not drink beer. Hearing Wang Zhe's words, Zhua Meiyan was quite satisfied. She smiled and said, Give me the car keys. I'll drive in a while. If you want to drink, then drink. Don't hold back. I haven't seen many men who can resist the temptation of cold beer in the summer. Wang Zhi smiled sheepishly. Zhua Meiyan really understood him. Give me the car keys. Ruan Qingxuang smiled and said, Meiyan, I'm sure your alcohol tolerance isn't bad. If you want to drink, you can drink a little. Beer was not harmful to the body, so he should drink less. I'll be your chauffeur later. Qingxuang, that's not a 5-seater family car. Your C license won't allow you to drive it. During this period of time, Zhua Meiyan's relationship with Ruan Qingxuang had undergone a qualitative change. At least from the way they addressed each other, Su Yun could tell that their relationship had become much closer. Ruan Qingxuang exclaimed. Then she really couldn't do anything. What are you afraid of? Let's all drink. Shirley said generously, Leave the chauffeur to me. In a while, I'll call someone to be your chauffeur. With Shirley's words, everyone relaxed. It was summer after all, and iced beer was indeed refreshing from the throat all the way to the heart. Even Guagua couldn't help but drink a big mouthful of beer foam. She smacked her lips and found that it tasted much worse than fruit juice. She really couldn't understand why everyone still wanted to drink it. Lunch was quickly eaten. At about 1:30, they left the restaurant and went to Shirley's security company. From the first time Su Yun saw the security guards, he felt a sense of familiarity. They stood in a standard cross-legged position. Horizontally, vertically, or even diagonally, they were all in a straight line. They didn't bend at all. This was the demeanor of Hua Xia's soldiers. Although these people had retired from the army, they still had that indelible toughness in their bones. Zhua Meiyan had to admit, this is the best security company I've ever seen. If you didn't tell me, I would have mistakenly thought that I'd entered the wrong place. Boss Shi, it seems that we've signed the contract. Shirley was very grateful to them for giving his brothers a chance. Everyone, listen up. For such a long time, I haven't been able to send you to a suitable job. But I promise that as long as you're my brothers, I'll definitely solve the problem for you. The person standing in front of you right now is my benefactor and also my brother. His name is Su Yun. The female bosses beside him are all our benefactors. Starting tomorrow, you can start working at the Sky Entertainment Group's film and television base in Qingdao. Once you're there, you'd better perform well. Yes. This answer could be described as clean, nimble, and deafening. Su Yun stepped forward and gave a standard salute. We're all fated to meet. I'll leave the security of the film and television base to you guys. Seeing the young boss in front of them salute so well, it was obvious that he was also from the army. Everyone felt warm in their hearts. Boss Shi, we haven't signed the contract yet. You should at least mention the conditions, such as salary and benefits. Zhua Meiyan smiled. I don't know what to do with this. I brought you here so that we can talk about this in front of everyone, Yi Zichen said. Shirley said. Brothers, as you all know, the average salary of a security guard on Qingdao is not more than 1,800 yuan. Boss Wu told you to do your best, so she'll give you the best treatment. I'll mention it on your behalf. Our quality is better than any other security company. I'll apply for a salary of 2,800 yuan a month. I won't appoint a squad leader or captain. After you go, whoever does well and gets Boss Wu's approval will be the squad leader or captain. Boss Sua will at least give the squad leader or captain a salary of 3,500 yuan. Shi Lei was indeed an upright person. The fact that he chose to speak in front of everyone showed that he didn't want to use this security company to make money. Good. Since Boss Shi said so, I won't be polite. Zhua Meiyan said straightforwardly. As I said, when you go to Sky Entertainment, you have to follow Sky Entertainment's rules. Everyone's basic salary will be 3,200 yuan. You don't have to worry about insurance and other benefits. I only have one condition, and that is to do your best. After a month, I'll recommend 10 squad leaders to lead 10 teams. The squad leader's salary will be 4,500 yuan. After 3 months, I'll choose a captain from the 10 squad leaders. The captain's salary will be over 100,000 yuan. Chapter 835. Then, Ruan Qingshuang added, the premise is that the competition must be fair. No one should think about hegemony. Once I find out that someone has broken the harmony of the security team, he will be fired immediately and will never be hired again. This is my principle and bottom line. I hope that no one will touch it. I can increase your salary every year. This will depend on your overall performance. That's what I want to say too. If anyone destroys the stability and unity of the team for the sake of power, I, Shi Lei, will be the first to punish him. Shi Lei said, I hope that the leader of the brothers can be a real leader, and not a scheming person. This is my only request. Brother Lei, how about this, tomorrow at 9 a.m. Bring everyone to the movie plaza. Su Yun said, I will arrange for people to measure and weigh everyone and prepare work clothes for everyone. The ribbon-cutting ceremony at the movie plaza is about to begin. I hope that on that day, everyone will be in a good state of mind to complete their security duties. Zhua Meiyan added, at that time, I need everyone to be 120% alert. After the ribbon-cutting ceremony, everyone will be given a bonus of 500 yuan. There will be a lot of international and domestic A-list stars on that day. There will be a lot of spectators. The guarantee of a safe passage is your top priority. Although the contract had not been signed, it was clear that everyone had a deep understanding of their future boss. They replied in unison. This quality was really impeccable. There was only one word to describe it: awesome. To be more confident, this was definitely the best security team in all of Huaxia. Brother Lei, that's it for today. See you tomorrow. Su Yun said, today, I think you should let the brothers relax. During this period of time, you have been under a lot of pressure. They must be under a lot of pressure too. Today, they can finally put down a big stone in their hearts. Everyone should also relax. This was true. Even if Su Yun did not say it, Shi Lei would have taken these 160 brothers to relax. Everyone would eat, drink, take a bath, and enjoy themselves. After leaving the security company, Shi Lei arranged for his men to drive everyone back to their hotel. As soon as Su Yun returned to his room, Tang Jiu knocked on Su Yun's door. The construction of the movie plaza had been completed. Tang Jiu's efforts were not in vain. Things here have come to an end. I should return to Ji Bei. When Tang Jiu spoke, she was somewhat reluctant. Su Yun had helped her a lot. After the Hadong Artificial River Project and the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza Project, she had grown a lot. Su Yun smiled. Aren't you going to give yourself a holiday and have a good rest? I have indeed thought about this problem. Tang Jiu said, I also want to bring Guagua and invite Sister Shuang and the others to go on a vacation in Hawaii and have fun for a while. It's just that there are still some things in the company that I haven't settled yet. Once I'm done, I'll invite you to join me. Besides, I'm afraid that you won't be able to leave now. Once the construction of the movie plaza is completed, there will be a lot of things to deal with after the ribbon-cutting ceremony. To be honest, Su Yun, I think that you should share some of Sister Meiyan's burdens. Even though she is a strong woman, she is still a woman. She needs a man to rely on and feel safe. This seemed to be what Tang Jiu was thinking. Didn't she also need a man to give her a sense of security? Obviously, Su Yun was their pillar of support. Even if they didn't need him to do anything, as long as they knew that he was there, they would feel safe and secure. That kind of feeling was something that no one else could give them. Tang Zhou had a very deep impression of this. Whether it was the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza project or the Hadong Artificial River project, because of Su Yun, Tang Zhou had been very steadfast in her work. Now that the Tang Group had taken over the Nanling Opera House project, even though things were going smoothly without Su Yun, she still felt a little unsure about it. Of course, Tang Zhou wouldn't say this out loud. That would only increase Su Yun's burden and pressure. Then it's a deal. After we're done with our own work, we'll go to Hawaii together, Su Yun said. I'm looking forward to it. You're treating, right? Hee, that's a deal. You're joking, Tang Zhou said. Help Sister Shuang and Cho Yun take care of Guagua. Guagua is much more sensible now than when I first met her. Most of the time, she doesn't give me the feeling that she's a mischievous little girl anymore. Girls need more care than boys. You know that. Su Yun nodded. He admitted that. When he was young, he had received much less care than training, so he was especially concerned about his lack of childhood happiness. There's also your body. I heard about it when I was chatting with Cho Yun today, Tang Zhou said. Although I don't know what kind of expert Lin Gu found to help you, even if there's someone who can treat your injuries, you still need to pay more attention to your body and take care of yourself in the future. You have the capital to overdraft your body when you're young, but what will you do when you're old? Su Yun grinned. I think that if I'm old, there'll definitely be someone to take care of me. Haha, if there's really no one to take care of me, I'll rely on your Tang family. Won't you give me face? Don't talk nonsense. I'm serious. Tang Zhou glared at Su Yun. Don't make us worry anymore. I know. You're becoming more and more like an auntie now, Su Yun said. I promise I'll take care of my body. Is that okay? You've decided to leave today? How about we all have dinner together tonight? It won't be too late to leave tomorrow. Tang Zhou shook his head. I'm going to Nanling tomorrow to take a look. You guys also need to go to the movie plaza to make arrangements. I just said that you should go and share Sister Mayan's burden. Why can't you understand? You don't have to worry about anything at the movie plaza. She's the one who's busy. You should at least say something, right? Okay, I'll follow your instructions, Su Yun said. How do you plan to return to Ji Bay? The company will pick me up in about an hour, Tang Zhou said. I'll go and say goodbye to everyone. Okay, I'll send you to the car later. Su Yun nodded. Just as Tang Zhou was about to turn and leave, Su Yun called out to her, "Oh right, Tang Zhou. Tang Zhou, there's something I want to say. Thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for me and Sky Entertainment. Sincerely. If you don't accept my gratitude, I'll feel really bad." Chapter 836. After sending Tang Zhou off, everyone felt that it was a pity. After all, they had been together for so long, and they all had feelings for each other. Even Zhua Meiyan couldn't lift her spirits. Tang Zhou's sacrifice was obvious to everyone. If she hadn't been focused on the construction of the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza, the progress wouldn't have been so fast. Because everyone was in a normal mood, dinner ended relatively quickly. Just as Su Yun put down his chopsticks, he received a call. It was from Boss Jean of Hongtai Coal Mine. If this guy was looking for Su Yun, it could only be for one thing. He had found the person Su Yun wanted him to find. Boss Jean, a few days apart feels like 3 years. Su Yun smiled slightly, got up, and walked out. He wouldn't let Ruan Qingshuang worry before he got the exact news. Jean Kwong also chuckled. That's right. Chairman Su, I feel that it's already past the 4th autumn. This is what we call heroes cherish heroes. In the future, I really have to find more opportunities to meet with Chairman Su. During this time, I've mainly focused on the thing you asked me to do. Seeing that Jean Kwong didn't beat around the bush and went straight to the point, Su Yun liked his attitude. Boss Jean is really kind. I like to deal with people like you. I don't know if it's good news or bad news. Chairman Su, although this isn't good news, it's definitely not bad news, Jean Kwong said. I'm an optimistic person. Boss Jean, tell me the good news first. Su Yun said faintly, to be able to get your number so quickly, I'm really surprised. Jean Kwong's smile deepened. He could tell that Su Yun had given him a lot of bonus points because of what he had done. This had established the possibility of them working together in the future. If Chairman Su has time now, why don't we meet up? I just arrived in Shenzhen. When I dialed your number, the car had just left the toll booth. Su Yun said awkwardly, I'm afraid I'm sorry, Boss Jean. I'm not in Shenzhen now. If I knew you were coming, I would have waited for you in Shenzhen. It's all right. It's all right. Look at what Chairman Su said. You're so busy and you have so many things to attend to every day. If I can meet you, it's my luck. Jean Kwong said, then I can only tell you over the phone. The good news is that I found the Ruan Chao you asked me to find. It was indeed done at a private coal mine that is related to Hong Tai. Su Yun heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that Jean Kwong was quite reliable. What about the bad news? You're not going to tell me that something has happened to her, are you? That's not necessarily the case. If something happens to them and I tell President Lin that I have good news, wouldn't I be slapping my own face? To be honest, it is indeed a little difficult to bring it up. Jean Kwong said, although I found news about Ruan Chao, the boss told me that he had left his mine for a long time. Su Yun frowned. Boss Jean, I think you must know the reason, right? Jean Kwong sighed and said, the boss of the private mine is a close friend of mine. Both of us like jade and antiques, so we have a lot of contact. I'll excuse him first. This matter really can't be blamed on him. Boss Jean, I'm not looking for anyone to take responsibility. I just want to find the person. Su Yun said seriously, everything else doesn't matter. It's just a passing cloud. Chairman Su is really magnanimous. Jean Kwong said, actually, this is what happened. At that time, something happened in the mine. At that time, 11 workers died. Because my friend offended someone, he was being watched by the reporters. He couldn't cover it up even if he wanted to. In the end, he spent a lot of money, but he still couldn't cover it up. He had no choice but to find someone to take responsibility for this matter. Su Yun was startled. Are you saying that Ruan Chao took responsibility for this matter? That's really the case. At that time, Ruan Chao and another person took 100,000 yuan each and took responsibility. Jean Kwong said, once they took responsibility for this matter, they would definitely have to run away. Otherwise, they could only wait to be caught. My friend doesn't know what happened after that. But he never heard any news about them being caught. Su Yun, in other words, Ruan Chao hasn't appeared since then? Yes. Jean Kwong said, I also inquired about the person who escaped with him. That person is from Qingdao. His name is Hua Zhongxiong. At that time, he and Ruan Chao took responsibility for this matter together. But I don't know anything else. After all, these private minds don't care about identity. You know some things. All right, Boss Jean. I've really troubled you with this matter. Su Yun, I've really made the right choice as your friend. Ha ha ha, Chairman Su, you must be joking. Don't take this small matter to heart. If you take it to heart, then I'll be embarrassed. Jean Kwong laughed a few times. Regardless of whether it was big or small, at least now Su Yun owed him a favor. He would have the capital to look for him in the future. Su Yun didn't waste any more words with Jean Kwong. Boss Jean, when I return to Shenzhen, I'll definitely treat you to a drink. No. When Chairman Su returns to Shenzhen, I'll give you a welcome dinner. Jean Kwong said straightforwardly. Anyway, he was preparing to find a place to look for a house in Shenzhen tomorrow. If he wanted to have long-term contact with Su Yun, he didn't mind living in Shenzhen at all. Anyway, he had his goddaughter to accompany him to eat, drink, and play. He wasn't someone who was attached to his family. As for the company's matters, he directly controlled it through the phone and instructed others to do it. As the boss, there was only one thing left, and that was to take over the Taiwan mine. As long as this matter was done, then he could only enjoy the rest of the things after that. After hanging up the phone with Jean Kwang, Su-yun realized that Ruan Qingxuang was standing behind him. Her eyes were like limpid autumn water. She bit her trembling lips lightly. "Did you not find any news?" "I can't say that there isn't any," Su-yun said lightly. "At least I can be sure that Ruan Chao didn't have any accidents in the mine. He left the mine. I'm afraid we need to think about the rest of the matter at length." "Right, I want to ask you something. At that time, did Ruan Chao send a lot of money home?" Ruan Qingxuang shook her head. "No. The most he sent was around 2,000 yuan. If that was the case, perhaps a young person wouldn't be able to resist the temptation of 100,000 yuan. After Ruan Chao received the money, he didn't send it home. It was very likely that he squandered it. If that was the case, it would be very difficult to stop." This matter really made Su-yun completely lose all clues. Seeing Su-yun frown, Ruan Qingxuang comforted him. "It's okay. It's been so long. No matter what the situation is, I can accept it. You don't have to consider my feelings." Chapter 837. The next day, Shirley brought his security team of more than 160 people to the Qingdao Film and Television Plaza on time. Because the entire base occupied a large area, 160 people should be enough to form a complete security team. Just the main plaza and the 10 entrances to the main hall would require 20 people. With so many other film and television bases, 140 people would be easy to divide. The people from the garment factory that Zhua Meiyan had contacted to measure their bodies had also arrived. Su Yunhui had decided to make the uniforms for the security guards because the quality of the uniforms sold by the labor protection store was really bad. It would be better to make it more professional and highlight the heroic nature of this group of retired soldiers. To create the most dazzling Secret Service security team, Ruan Qingxuang stayed here to deal with the security team. After all, Su-yun hoped that in the future, she could become a capable assistant like Ruan Qingxuang. Ruan Qingxuang's careful and cautious personality was enough to make up for Zhua Meiyan's impulsive decisions. This way, Sky Entertainment's long-term development could be guaranteed. Cho Yun took Lin Suin to pick out the weapons and equipment needed by the security team. Hua Xia carrying a gun was against the law, but some handy weapons like batons could be easily bought. With Lin Suin's eyes and Cho Yun's expertise, the two naturally picked out good things. While measuring, Zhua Meiyan and Ruan Qingxuang discussed a few things. They directly divided the security team into 16 groups, with 10 people in each group. Each group would be in charge of their own area. After all, the Film and Television Plaza was surrounded by film and television bases. As long as the ribbons were cut, the next day would be full of people. A lot of film and television work would be carried out here. When the time came, security guards would be needed everywhere. After all, many film and television bases were disturbed by crazy fans and crazy star chasers during the filming process. Although this wasn't a big deal, once an outsider broke in, it would more or less affect the state of the director and actors. Filming a movie was the same as doing other things. The details determined success or failure. If there wasn't an absolutely perfect environment, how could a high-quality product be produced? Brother Yun, yesterday, this group of brothers told me that you gave them such a rare opportunity. They sincerely want to thank you. Shirley said, I told them that if they want to thank you, they just have to do their jobs well. Brother Lei's words make sense. Su Yun said, we're going to divide them into groups today. In the afternoon, we'll bring them to familiarize them with the areas they're in charge of. You'll officially start work tomorrow. Zhua Meiyan has already drafted the contract. After all, the security team is yours. We'll still sign the contract with you, and we'll transfer the salary to you first, and then you'll pay it. Although I know you don't intend to let the security company become a profitable part, we finally decided to follow the formal steps. You are also the manager, so you should get a certain management fee. Shirley smiled helplessly and shook his head. Then I'm really embarrassed to take this money. I sent the security team to your side, and it was all because of you. How can I take the management fee? You're treating me like an outsider. Brother Lei, even brothers have to settle accounts clearly. If we want to cooperate for a long time, we have to do this. Su Yun said seriously. We'll talk about this later. I'll help you divide them into groups now. After all, I have some understanding of them. I know who's closer to whom. Shirley turned around and went to work. Just as the security team was being divided into groups, Su Yun suddenly heard a name pop out of Shirley's mouth. Hua Xiaoxiong, you go to the 5th team. You'll be in the same group as Qi Rui's group. After Shirley finished speaking, a young man in the crowd happily stood up and walked to the 5th team. At his age, he must have joined the army after high school. After completing his military service, he immediately came back. Obviously, he didn't have any family connections. Su Yun was curious about his name, Hua Xiaoxiong. Because yesterday, Jin Kuang called him and told him that when Ruan Chao ran away, the person with him was called Hua Zhongxiong from Qingdao. Hua Xiaoxiong. Su Yun went forward and said, Can I talk to you? When Hua Xiaoxiong heard this, he was flattered. Although Su Yun was only 25 or 26 years old, his aura and temperament definitely had the aura of a boss. Hua Xiaoxiong hurriedly walked in front of Su Yun and smiled. Director Su, if there's anything, just tell me. It's nothing. I just saw that you're a good person and wanted to talk to you. Su Yun smiled slightly. How's the health of the elders in your family? Hua Xiaoxiong was touched when he heard this. They're okay. They're not bad. Su Yun, you're the only child in your family? Then you have to be filial to the elders in the future. Filial piety is a must. Hua Xiaoxiong said, I have 2 brothers in my family. My parents are always proud of us 3 sons. You have brothers? What do they do? Su Yun felt that it was more and more coincidental. Are they also retired soldiers? Are they in our security team? Hua Xiaoxiong shook his head. My brother's name is Hua Daxiong. When he left school, I was still in primary school. He learned auto repair from an old master. It's just that his comprehension is average. Now he's working as a car repair and maintenance worker in a Volkswagen 4S shop in Qingdao. Hee, although it's dirty work, the income is still okay. He occasionally helps the family so that the family doesn't have too many difficulties. My sister-in-law is also more reasonable. This job is not bad. There will be fewer skilled workers in the future. Young people don't like to do this kind of work. His salary will also increase. Su Yun smiled slightly. What about your second brother? What does he do? Speaking of his second brother, Hua Xiaoxiong shook his head helplessly. My second brother's name is Hua Zhongxiong. His life isn't good. He's almost 40 years old and hasn't found a wife. It's all. Hua Xiaoxiong was suddenly speechless. He didn't know how to continue. Did your second brother work as a miner in Hongtai coal mine? Su Yun asked. Hua Xiaoxiong was dumbfounded. Boss Su, how did you know? Could it be? I know a lot more. Their mine isn't even Hongtai coal mine. It's just a small private coal mine. It's under Hongtai's name. Su Yun, because there was an accident in the mine, the boss wanted to find a scapegoat. Therefore, he paid him to take the blame and let them escape. Am I right? Hua Xiaoxiong looked at Su Yun in shock. Director Su, you're not here to investigate my second brother, are you? Since you know he's a scapegoat, you won't arrest him, right? I'm not investigating him, but I can't prove that he's right. Su Yun, after all, he took the coal boss's money and let that black-hearted boss get away with it. Chapter 838. 200,000 yuan. Su Yun was stunned. Jin Kwang clearly told him that the coal boss gave Hua Zhongxiong and Ruan Chao 100,000 yuan each for them to run away. How did it become 200,000 yuan in Hua Zhongxiong's mouth? There was only one possibility, unless Hua Zhongxiong also took Ruan Chao's 100,000 yuan. That was the only explanation. Boss Su, how did you know about this? This happened a few years ago. Hua Xiaoxiong said, no one is investigating anymore. We're preparing to let my second brother go out and find a job. Otherwise, with his current state, forget about continuing the family line, he can't even find a wife. After a pause, Hua Xiaoxiong saw Su Yun's serious expression and couldn't help but regret saying these things. He said nervously, Boss Su, you're not going to find trouble with my second brother, are you? He's already very pitiful. This matter really can't be blamed on him. He was also forced into a corner. Su Yun didn't continue to hide anything. I don't mean to find trouble with Hua Zhongxiong. I just want to find someone who ran away with him. Su Yun's gaze was fixed on Hua Xiaoxiong's eyes. Did he mention a person called Ruan Chao to you? The boy who ran away with him? Hua Xiaoxiong shook his head with a blank expression. No, he only said that he took the blame for the boss, and then ran back by himself. He didn't say that there was someone else involved. Then I'll tell you the truth. He wasn't the only one who took the blame for the coal boss. There was another boy called Ruan Chao. The coal boss didn't give your brother 200,000 yuan, but gave each of them 100,000 yuan. Su Yun, I'm guessing that the coal boss did this so that the two of them would run to different places and confuse the police investigating this matter. Hua Xiaoxiong couldn't help but swallow. He didn't know why he was inexplicably nervous. But after Ruan Chao ran away, he didn't bring the 100,000 yuan home. His family never heard from him again. Su Yun and Hua Zhongxiong returned to Qingdao with the 200,000 yuan. This is what happened. I just want to find someone to explain to me why it ended up like this. Why is Ruan Chao's 100,000 yuan in Hua Zhongxiong's hands? And why is Ruan Chao missing? Xiao Su. That can't be. My second brother is definitely not that kind of person. He would never do such a terrible thing. Hua Xiaoxiong said. A chill ran down his spine. This matter sounded a little too unbelievable. Su Yun insisted, before I figure out the truth, I won't suspect anyone. But I have to see Hua Zhongxiong. I want to hear what he has to say. Hua Xiaoxiong shook his head vigorously. Absolutely impossible. My second brother would never do something like that. Chairman Su, I guarantee that this is absolutely impossible. I guarantee it with the dignity of the Hua family. Really? Absolutely impossible. But I can't help but wonder why the 200,000 is in your second brother's hands. Su Yun, you also have to admit that your second brother's mental state has been like this all these years. His mental stress is something none of us can deny. If you want to help your second brother, then let me see him. Hua Xiaoxiong was stunned. He couldn't accept this news. He had to admit that he had doubts in his heart. Su Yun wasn't in a hurry. I'll give you time to think about it. After all, this isn't something anyone can accept. I'm also from the military. I understand that you won't really want to hide it. The others were still busy assigning the security team. Su Yun stood calmly beside Hua Xiaoxiong, waiting for him to think about it. After 10 minutes, Hua Xiaoxiong finally said, Okay, I promise you. If my second brother had really done something outrageous, I would definitely not be biased towards him. But I believe that he's definitely not that kind of person. Chairman Su, I swear. I also want to believe you. Su Yun. But I have to know the truth. And the only person who knows the truth is Hua Xiaoxiong. Hua Xiaoxiong nodded vigorously. At this moment, his heart was like a bottle of mixed feelings. Sour, sweet, bitter, spicy, and salty. The feeling of all the feelings mixed together made him feel very uncomfortable. If you don't have any objections, then we'll go find him now, Su Yun said as he took out the car keys. Hua Xiaoxiong silently agreed. Brother Lei, Hua Xiaoxiong and I are going out to do something. I'll have to trouble you here. Su Yun turned to Shirley and said, "Thank you for your hard work." Shirley nodded and looked at Hua Xiaoxiong. He smiled slightly. Brother Yun, you have good eyes. Xiaoxiong is a moldable talent. With your guidance, he'll definitely become a talent in the future. Ruan Qingxuang and Zhuo Meiyan looked at each other. They didn't understand the reason behind Su Yun's actions at this time. But they still nodded and told Su Yun to drive safely and come back for lunch after he was done. Looking at the back of Su Yun and Hua Xiaoxiong leaving, the security guards whispered, "Xiaoxiong is so lucky. The leader of the 5th team will definitely be him." Leader? Haha, you're underestimating him. He's with Chairman Su. Maybe he'll be the leader of our security team in the future. This kid has a future. Tisk. TSK. TSK. Yes, he'll probably be earning 100,000 yuan a year soon. It's really enviable. We also have to work hard and learn from him. In the midst of the discussion, Su Yun drove the black Kian out of the film and television square with Hua Xiaoxiong. Seeing Hua Xiaoxiong reach the sky in one step, everyone cheered up. They all hoped to be the second person to catch the eyes of these bosses. Even if the head captain would become Hua Xiaoxiong, they could also fight for the position of deputy captain. Maybe they could also get an annual salary of more than 80,000 yuan. For them, this was already a very good salary. The group measurement continued. Shirley also signaled everyone to stop talking nonsense. Using practical actions to do their best was the real way of the king. Su Yun drove all the way in the direction Hua Xiaoxiong pointed out. Then he got on the town highway and went all the way north. He was getting farther and farther away from the bustling city of Qingdao. He didn't get off the town highway until he reached the northernmost part of Qingdao. Although this place was also part of Qingdao, compared to the development of the coastal area, it didn't seem so urban. After getting off the highway and coming to the town, Su Yun came to a village called Green Tree Village according to the direction Hua Xiaoxiong pointed out. This village lived up to its name. Although it wasn't as bustling as the city, the green vegetation made people feel very comfortable. The air quality was also far better than the city by a few streets. Chapter 839. The environment here is really rare. It must be very comfortable to live in such a place. Su Yun said casually, "It seems that your secretary is a good official who understands the principle of sustainable development." Although Hua Xiaoxiong was not in the mood, he was still very emotional when talking about his village. Yes, he is indeed a good secretary. For so many years, although some people have always complained that he does not know how to use our unique conditions to develop rural tourism projects, most people still support him. Although developing rural tourism projects can bring income to the villagers, destroying the current situation in the village is also an inevitable price to pay. I still support him. After all, I hope that the village can maintain its original appearance, green and always look so comfortable. There are fewer and fewer places like this. If it can continue to be so beautiful, isn't it a good thing? Su Yun asked, "Do you still have land at home? What do you usually plant?" "I have 4 mu of land. Usually, I plant some crops that are suitable for the season." Hua Xiaoxiong said, "The wheat will be harvested soon. If the family is too busy in a few days, I am afraid I will have to take a day off. I will come back to help harvest the wheat. After all, my parents are old." "Director Su, turn left at the intersection ahead." Su Yun turned the car and said with a smile, "That is what I should do. I will allow you to take a day off. If you can't handle it in 1 day, then 2 days. If you need help, see if any of the brothers in the security team are free. I will ask them to help you harvest the wheat." "Thank you for your kindness, Director Su. Actually, there is not much work. I can do it myself. It is all combined harvesters now. There is no need to manually harvest the wheat. Hua Xiaoxiong said, compared to before, the lives of the farmers are much better now. This is all thanks to the government, thanks to the party, and thanks to the wise decisions of our Huaxia leaders. It is because of this that our lives are getting better day by day. Compared to before, it is really thriving. Our Huaxia is a large agricultural country. It is certain that the country supports the development of agriculture. Su Yun nodded and said, the few mu of land at home now is definitely a treasure in the future. Many villagers have given up their land for money. Buildings have been built on good crops, and people do not have to worry about food. Being a construction worker makes more money than being a farmer. However, this is not a long-term solution. Hua Xiaoxiong nodded and said, Director Su, what you said makes sense. Indeed, there are fewer and fewer fertile lands. Su Yun was quite far-sighted. Now, Huaxia's real estate industry has reached an extreme point. There are more and more ghost towns. Many of the newly built residential areas have less than 10% occupancy. Some are even less than 5%. Although Huaxia hasn't reached the point where everyone has a house to live in, there are more and more unused houses. One day, when the real estate bubble can't withstand the pressure and bursts, all those construction workers who abandon their family's land won't be able to feed themselves, Hua Xiaoxiong said. I believe that the leader will definitely have a way to resolve this situation, Su Yun said. We don't have to worry about that. Hee, where is the intersection ahead? Hua Xiaoxiong pointed at a stone mill in front of them and said, Turn right at the stone mill. The second house is ours. A luxurious car driving into a village far away from the hustle and bustle of the city would obviously attract the attention of many villagers. When they saw that it was Hua Xiaoxiong who came out of the car, they started discussing. Hua family's old third is still the most promising. People who were soldiers are indeed different. Look at how he is doing now. He even sits in such a good car. The village elder said, This car looks even better than that old Zhang family's kid who made the black-hearted soy sauce. The younger and more knowledgeable ones immediately said, This is called a Porsche. Zhang Daxing's Volkswagen can't compare to it. This car can buy 10 of his cars. Oh my goodness. Isn't Zhang Daxing's car called What's Afraid Of? Didn't they say it was more than 200,000? Is old third's car that good? 2 million. Of course. Let me tell you, this car looks like the best. Look at the row. The more knowledgeable youngster had already started explaining to the people around him. Hua Xiaoxiong waved his hand. All right. This is our boss car. Don't make any gestures. If it gets scratched, no one can afford to pay for it. Go back to what you are supposed to do. When the onlookers heard this, they all moved away. No one wanted to cause trouble for themselves. An old man walked while saying, Old third is so promising. Hua family's old second can't compare. He's almost 40 years old, but he still stays at home and relies on his brothers to support him. It's really fate. Su Yun had already encountered similar onlookers in Ruan Qingxuang's hometown village, so he wasn't surprised at all. After locking the car, he walked into Hua Xiaoxiong's house under the lead of Hua Xiaoxiong. The house at home was very old. It looked like it was built at least 20 years ago. Hua Xiaoxiong explained, It was built when my elder brother got married. Now the two of them saved money in the city and took a loan to buy a 60-square-meter attic. They're doing pretty well. It's really not bad. Su Yun nodded. Nowadays, young people who could afford a house with their own ability were considered promising young people. Most of them still relied on their family. My second brother is in the East House. He doesn't go out except for eating and drinking. Hua Xiaoxiong shook his head helplessly. Su Yun nodded. Where are your parents? I'll go and greet them first. They're probably watering the field now. They won't be back for a while. Hua Xiaoxiong said, Manager Su, I don't want the old people at home to worry. Since there's no one at home, you can ask them if you have any questions. Su Yun understood Hua Xiaoxiong's feelings, so he directly pushed the door and walked into the east house. Although Hua Xiaoxiong wasn't 40 years old, his face was dirty and his face was full of stubble. He looked like an old man in his 50s or 60s. Seeing that old third brought a stranger home, Hua Xiaoxiong sat up on the bed vigilantly and looked at Su Yun nervously. Perhaps it was because he hadn't been in contact with strangers for too long, so he was a little depressed. "Old third, who is he? Why did you casually bring him home?" Hua Xiaoxiong's voice was obviously anxious. Hua Xiaoxiong shook his head helplessly. "Second brother, this is my boss. He has something to ask you. Although I know you don't want to accept it or talk about it, you have to face what you have to face. You can't live in hiding your whole life, right?" "What do you mean?" Hua Xiaoxiong was confused. Su Yun coughed lightly and said faintly, "I know what I'm going to say next will hurt you mentally, but I still want to ask you. What's the situation with Ruan Chao who escaped from the mine with you?" Ruan Chao. This name was like a sharp knife that pierced directly into Hua Zhongxiong's heart. He cried out in pain and kept muttering, "I don't understand what you're talking about, I don't understand, I don't know anything. I beg you to let me go. I don't know anything." You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.